Hello, hello. Welcome to the podcast. How is everybody? North Waters. First one to join. Sage. How's it going, everybody? People are coming in quick. What up, Sims? Billy Gilly. Yeah, everybody just opened the app. Yeah. How is everybody this evening? A lot of people are weathering storms. I guess we have one on the way here. Hopefully it doesn't affect me at all. Yeah, Sage does have a couple questions for Sims, that's for sure. Sunburnt. Good and sunburnt. Hey, it's better than being indoors all day. I know you know that. What's up, John? Walleye guy. How's it going, everybody? Clarksville Customs in the house. Good evening, sir. Just sat down to eat. Cool. You're more than welcome up anytime there. Let me see, Frank. I will send you an invite. You come in anytime you want. I know you said you wanted to come in just as soon as we got started, but that's completely up to you. There he is. What up, Jigs? Good evening, sir.
What's up? How's everybody doing?
Doing good, man. Just getting this thing started up. We like to get the chat fired up, let everybody get in here, and then we start the interview.
Okay.
Either way looks good. Light on, light off.
Yeah. Tim, don't hate already. I'm gonna have enough of that as it is.
I'm doing good, John. How are you? Who is this guy? Walleye guy knows who this guy is. Sorry you're busy tonight. Gotta go. And so it begins. Yeah. That guy looks like Dan.
All right.
Oh my.
You've just wrote yourself out of something big, buddy.
I'm telling you.
What's up, niece?
Appreciate it. Thank you. People are piling in the room already.
We're gonna have some fun tonight.
Oh yeah.
Oh, here we go. He should be so lucky. Okay, here comes Dan. Here we go. Killjoy. Oh my word.
What
have I got myself into tonight?
Thank you.
Jolly Poo, no gloves. I mean, I don't know what you want. Dan ain't here tonight.
No, not tonight. It's just going to be us two getting down to some bait making talk. And
that's right. That's right.
Whatever comes up. I hope that's not my internet.
It's not mine this time, believe it or not. I've got actually Wi-Fi in the shop pretty good. We had a storm.
Yeah. Let me ask a question. Has anybody seen Frank freeze up at all? If not, then it's my internet for sure. And we do have a storm coming in. I'm going to apologize.
See you freeze.
You seen me freeze up?
I seen you freeze up a little bit. What about me?
It's good on this end. Somebody said
I've got plenty of bars.
Yeah, I do too. Now but we are getting a storm. So if it freezes a little bit and you just see me sitting there with a smile, just know I'll be right back.
That's right.
Lots of people already down in the chat. You know, this little bar thing that keeps popping up. nobody else sees it but me, but it puts like a mirror glass image over everything, and I can't see anything at the top of the live, but we'll get
Okay.
through it. Can someone lead us to the walleyes up here?
Hey, is somebody who's moderating tonight? I need to know.
There's quite a few.
Watch Dan. Don't let him get me tonight. All right, I'm out here. Don't let Dan do nothing crazy. What's up, Brad?
I don't believe Dan's a moderator in here.
Yeah. Oh, Stroud's one of them. I'm in trouble.
It's unfortunate, but true. Yeah.
Fourth Waters, you can boot people. Okay, good. I may need a little help.
I believe it's Lawrence and Stroud's, Northwater and Holly, Sims.
Bus driver is in the building. That's right. See, what gets me is everybody's got like 6 and 7 names. I can't keep up with it, but that's why I'm changing mine to bus driver.
I'm telling you, I've never had a second name. I've always this is it.
Yeah.
You get what you see.
Is it better with the light out or with it on?
I think out, just because we can see you clear. We can actually see behind you pretty clear too. I think you're good right there. I had the same issue, when I started to look at that gift. Looky there.
What does that mean?
He's sending a gift, just appreciating the live. So the bigger the gift, the better the scenery you get to see.
Okay.
So you're going to see a lot of gifts probably going on tonight. We don't expect them, but people like to send them. Send all you want. We appreciate it, but they're not expected. But yeah, when I started the podcast, it was tough because I have all this lighting in front of me. There's your cowboy hat.
That's right. Send me a cowboy hat. That's what I'm talking
about. You have all this lighting in front of you that you want to turn on. Oh my goodness. The dinosaur scenery. And when you turn it on, you see the reflection on your glasses, off your face. And
yeah.
So for something like this, a little bit of lower lighting is okay. Like right now, I have on one little lamp behind me and one to the side, and that's it. Otherwise, it's just too much.
Yeah.
But I don't care what these guys say. You look fine, Frank. You look great.
Well, thank you. I appreciate it. At least somebody's on my side tonight.
I'm on your side, buddy.
If they want the juice, they better get off of that.
See, now they're giving me crap down there. That forehead, though.
They're killing me. They get me. I can't wear a hat. I'm sorry. I got an 8 head.
I wear the hat because Swamp Rooster made me self-conscious. So I got a nice haircut and I still wear the hat. Cover up some of that 5 head I got, I guess.
Yeah.
Y'all gonna smooch? Get out of here.
Oh, Lord. I need you to get serious tonight.
Right?
I don't want to get sidetracked.
Well, this is their time to make the funny comments because once we get started, I don't know. For me, I don't look at the chat too much. That's why I got my moderators, and I love the fact that the chat just kind of does its own thing. I glance down there once in a while, but I have to watch it because these guys will get me cracking up during an interview because they'll say some of the stuff that maybe has been said on the live that I just find hilarious. Yeah. And I find myself laughing, and it's just not good.
Yeah, I mean, I want to have fun tonight. I really do. But like I said, there's some stuff that I think we all need to talk about.
Sure. Yeah. Yep. It's all about having fun, talking bait making, a little bit of seriousness.
Yep.
And you guys know how it goes. We don't start the interview till 7. And then, I try and pay attention to the chat a little bit. We'll take a few questions out of there. If you happen to see a question that you want to address, Frank, the only thing I say is make sure you say their name first so we know who it's coming from, and then read out the question. Sometimes you'll see them just as quick as I do. And
all right. What's up, 007?
007, what's up?
Rasher.
JM Jigs.
Yeah, keep your shorts on, Lauren. I ain't doing that tonight.
JM says you don't want to pay attention to the chat tonight. Look at that. That is cool. Thank you.
What's up, Skeeter?
Who sent that? That was pretty cool.
What's up, Paul?
Sim sent it.
Packed house tonight. Let's roll them in. Get them in here. Let's go.
Let's go.
Let's go.
You came here to see Frank. You better get in here now.
It's gonna be a good night. It's gonna be a real good night. What's up, Bubba?
Looks better. That Bubba said that looked better than my normal face. I appreciate that.
What's up, Tiny?
Tiny's in the house. What's up, Brusher? Oh, he changed his name a little bit.
That's what I'm telling you. They all got 7, 8 names. I can't keep up with it.
Yep. You know, when I first started, it was just CRC or something like that, just my initials. And then I got into the bait making side and we kind of changed it. And it's a funny story how it came about that my name changed to Uncle Corey's Custom Lures. We'll tell this story real quick, but I have a John boat out front that I've been trying to sell for a long time and it's still sitting there. And I said, I tell you what, if this thing don't sell, I'm going to give it to my nephew or my niece or something. I'm just going to give it to him. And from that day forward, everybody's like, oh, well, hey, Uncle Corey. So that's how the name Uncle Corey came about. I mean, from that day forward, that's what everybody was saying.
Tim, there ain't nothing wrong with Tim. When I first got in here, I just had Frank on there. I didn't know any better.
Yeah. Yep. That's the way it goes. Everybody falls into their own kind of name, whatever they choose it to be. And of course, yours should be Clark Hills Custom.
Yeah. Well, I had to wait. I did it originally. And like I said, I'm social media challenged. So I just put my name in there and then it wouldn't let me change it for a week. So I was popping in and they were like, I know they were going, who in the world is this?
Thump Candy, Paul Tark, thank you. Lots of people in the house. We're up to 45 already. Appreciate everybody coming in. We'll be getting started here in just a few minutes. I know y'all are anxious to hear what Frank has to say and maybe get a few tips and tricks out of him. Also, if you want tips and tricks out of him, by gosh, you need to go over and check out his YouTube channel. So make sure you get over there too.
What's up, Royal? John, JM Jigs in the house.
Skeeter says my poppin' popcorn is ready. Got my notepad ready, Jigs says.
Oh, Jigs, don't be screenshotting everything.
It's going to be notepads and screenshots.
That's right.
Who's this guy? Clark Hills. Clark's Hill Custom. You know who this guy is.
What's up, Anthem? Ain't seen you in a while. Big Muddy, what's up? What is up? Dan's got his screenshot finger ready. let me give a shout out to Sonic for the sponsorship.
There you go.
That's right.
It's hard to catch him without that Sonic cup. That's right there.
Without my Sonic cup. Doing great, buddy. How about you?
What's up, Swamp Rooster?
Walleye guy. 2-minute bell. Here we go.
2 minutes before class.
The bus is pulling over.
Y'all get your restroom breaks, get your popcorn, get your food, get your snacks. We'll see. He's part owner of Sonic. We got about 1 minute. We'll get started. I always start out with an introduction, Frank. We'll get through the introduction and tell people where they can find stuff and where they need to go. And then we'll get down to some questions. I never let the questions.
Go ahead, get them.
I never let the questions take over the entire thing. If conversation's going good, we just keep talking, buddy.
That's fine with me.
Sonic. Everybody notices that Sonic.
Yeah, I mean, unfortunately, I gotta go by there and get my drink every day when I'm in town.
There you
If
go.
I'm not traveling.
Well, it is 7 o'clock, people. You know what time it is. It is time for the Pondcast. I'm Corey with Uncle Corey's Custom Lures, host of the Pondcast. Tonight we have Clark's Hill Custom Lures. I have been waiting for this one. I'm so glad you decided to join us tonight. Appreciate you being here, buddy.
Glad to be here. Excited to be here.
Yes, sir. We will get started with all the questions after the introduction. As always, the podcast is sponsored by Pretty Lures. Get over to Pretty Lures for all your bait making needs. They've got your stencils, your paints, your tying stuff, your vices, airbrushes. They have a lot over there. You just need to get over there and check it out. If you haven't, let tonight be your first night. Get over there and check them out. If you follow me or subscribe to me over on the YT page, you can use a 10% discount code PONDCAST 2025. And you can use that over at Pretty Lures and get a little bit off of your order. One more thing about Pretty Lures tonight. I want to get this out of the way. I talked with them a little earlier. You can now pre-order the PL Rocker. You can do that right now. It is up on their website, ready for pre-order. It won't be in for roughly 4 weeks, give or take a little bit. The other thing, if you're going to pre-order the rockers from Pretty Lure, make sure you put in your pre-order for only the rockers. Anything else you want to order, make that a separate order, or you will have to wait until everything comes in before they can get a shipment out. So, also their strikers are in. You can get over to their website and get the strikers right now. The one thing they wanted me to let you know is there is a blemish on them. They had the PL taken off of them. It's nothing major. But they wanted you to know that. So if you get over there and you do order them, you can order them now, or you can wait until the new shipment comes in. So they had a little bit of an issue with the manufacturer, and the PL had to be buffed off of there. So you may have to fix that spot a little bit. For me, nothing major. For them, they like to put out a perfect blank, so they want you to know about that. Other than that, we will be doing some giveaways. Mr. Frank's going to be doing a giveaway. Pretty Lures is going to be doing a giveaway.
I got a question about that giveaway. So when they're commenting in the box, because I'm still new to this Pondcast stuff, whoever has the most comments, that's how high they go, correct?
Nope. It all depends on not only comments, gifts, likes. And here's the thing. These random numbers have already been chosen. I have no idea who's where in that number scheme.
Okay.
And it doesn't matter how many gifts or comments you make. That number's already predetermined. So you have no idea where you will fall for the pre-chosen numbers. Now, I'm glad you brought that up, because you don't have to do anything. You don't have to send a gift. The only thing we ask is that you like or comment this live so that you have a number beside your name. If you do not interact with the live at all, you don't have a number by your name. But those numbers do depend. Like somebody who's a top gifter is going to be number one in the ranking. Okay. So on and so forth. Well, so
it's gonna be a big deal tonight. We're gonna do a really good giveaway. It's gonna be something that nobody has but me. Just one of the things. So do what you got to do to get somewhere, because I'm going to be giving it out.
Yes, sir. Pretty Lures will be doing their giveaway as well. We already have a predetermined number for that and a code. So make sure you guys are interactive with the chat. Also, I do try and take a question if I see it in the chat throughout the podcast, but most of the questions are reserved for the end of the podcast. That way you guys can talk with him personally from the chat. But if we do see one, we'll grab it out of there. As long as we're not mid-conversation, we'll try and get to it. So appreciate all the moderators that are in here tonight. I have quite a few moderators. I don't have a bunch, and they are all personal friends. And they do a great job at making sure our chat stays decent, and there's not a bunch of just jargon from all over TikTok. People just popping in and throwing stuff up there. So appreciate you guys. You do a great job behind the scenes, and I don't think I say that enough. Other than that, what do you think? You ready to get started?
Let's go. Let's go.
Let's go. Look at the little mushroom.
That's right, mushrooms.
Why don't we start with what state are you out of?
I'm out of Georgia now. I'm originally from Virginia. I've been in Georgia for about 30 years.
Okay.
So go Bulldogs, by the way.
I knew you were going to throw it in there. You really enjoy living there then. Do you plan on moving somewhere else, maybe into retirement or?
No, I think I'm going to stay put. Like I said, I enjoy living here. I love to fish. So I'm 15 minutes from the lake. I just bought a new boat. And if I'm not working, which I work a lot, between that and painting lures, so it keeps me pretty busy.
Yeah. I can imagine that it really does. So my next question is always, do you do this as a full-time thing? But you don't. You have your regular job, and then you do your baits as well.
Yep.
So is there another hobby that you do on the side, or is bait making just your thing?
Yeah, I mean, I think I'm going into my 14th year of lure painting. I just love it. It's been a great hobby for me. Have I thought about doing it full time? I have.
Yeah.
And who knows what's going to happen. I've got a really good job, and I do like what I do. But I love lure painting. I mean, I tell people this all the time. There's a difference between being obsessed with something, and I'm obsessed with this. I mean, I'm not just passionate about it. I think it teeters off on being a little bit crazy. I never get enough of it. There's pretty much not much time in the day that doesn't go by when I'm thinking about it, or I'm talking to interacting with somebody. I mean, I've been doing the YouTube now I'm going in, I think, the 7th year of that.
Yeah.
And I get messages. I probably get a week. I probably get maybe 50 to 60 messages a week on here or what, about something or another with lure painting. Besides just talking on the phone with the guys, and just, having fun about it. I just love it.
Yeah. I know that's where you started out, and you came over here to TikTok, maybe just a few months ago?
I haven't even been in here a month.
Okay. And the outpour from the community who knew you from your YouTube channel has just been immense.
Well, it's been really humbling. I tell you, I guess, when I'm doing YouTube and, kind of comparing it to TikTok, I'm kind of by myself. I'm painting, I'm posting a video. The only interaction I have is after I post it, they may comment and then I comment back, but it's not like the TikTok. I mean, I've been able to interact with some good guys, and all these guys have taken me in. I mean, really, it's been really kind of overwhelming. I mean, when I first came in, how many people actually knew me? I mean, I'm just a regular guy, I don't, I just love to paint fishing lures, and it's been really fun. I tell you, it's been very humbling.
Well, I think your work speaks for itself. When you came over to TikTok, I think a lot of people right away knew who you were, and me. And we'll just be honest here. I'm not a YouTube person, so I had never been over to YouTube, and very rarely I look at Facebook, but I don't follow I follow a bunch of people, but I don't go look at all the pages. Like here on TikTok, I'm all over everybody's pages, liking, commenting. So I wasn't really sure who you were. And somebody mentioned it to me. They said, wait a minute, you don't know Frank from YouTube, from this, that, and the other? And I said, no. So I went and I checked it out. And that's kind of how I got to know you. I think the first time I ever seen or heard from you was over on the book on Facebook. And it was after that I really started digging into who you were and how things went. And you do some fabulous work. I mean,
Well, I appreciate that.
yeah, I think a lot of people knew that before, but now that you came to TikTok, they're able to sit and chat with you, and your informational videos, step by step painting and stuff like that over on the YouTube are amazing. But they actually get to see you live doing your thing over here. So
Yeah, and that's it's really fun. Like I said, I think that just being in the painting community this long, uh you can't hold back secrets. I'll be honest with you. I think that that's kind of been my goal for a long time, was just to strengthen the community, get out there and share, get people that are just starting out, where they're, not having to spend years of time making the same mistakes I made when I first started. I mean, I can remember, when I started way back, it was brutal back then, trying to get anybody to help you. And I watched YouTube, and what was on there at the time. And I kind of had gotten to a stage where I said, I'm going to try this,
mm-hmm.
And I look back at my old videos, and I share this with a lot of the guys, Stroud, Dan, I just, I look back and I'm going, wow, I put that out, but you have to start somewhere. You can't let that stop you. You can't be scared to do it. Like I said, I think I have 175 videos out on YouTube, and I mean, everybody's style is different. I've yet to see somebody paint just like me, and
right.
I have my own picky style that I like. I like very clean, thin line. That's the way I am now. I really feel like after all the years of painting, that the last 2 or 3 years I've kind of come into my own, really.
Yeah.
But it takes time. This is something, well, and I say this to the younger people. It's not going to be instant. You see somebody using an airbrush, and they'll call me and say, or message me and go, well, what kind of airbrush is that? And I tell them what it is, but just because you use that airbrush does not mean you're going to get that result. You got to put the time in.
Yes,
I mean,
sir.
even to this day, usually on Tuesday and Thursday nights, I just practice on paper towels, dots, lines. I mean, so when I'm actually painting, I don't even have to think about it. I can just go. There's just so much involved in it that I didn't realize when I first started. The different airbrushes, air pressure, different paints, how to reduce paints. I mean, it's a laundry list of stuff that you really have to put some thought in. It's not just pouring paint in the airbrush and going to town. I mean, that's as far from the truth as it gets.
Yeah.
And I just I think you don't go out there pounding blanks every night if you're new at this. Go out there and practice, and learn how to use the airbrush. I mean, that's half the battle. Once you learn that, then the other stuff will come. But yeah, I think, well, I mean, I remember I did it. I couldn't wait to get home, back in the day when I started. And really, I got started by accident. I used to love the striper fish. And I had a buddy of mine, we were doing lead spoons. And I wanted something to paint my spoons with. I didn't even know about the dipping the dry powder paint on them. I was that new into this. And my wife bought me a little Masters compressor and an airbrush, and I think in the kit it had a few blanks in it. And I came home from work one day. I got off early, and I tried it. And my wife came home and she said, "Did you buy that?" I said, "No, I painted that today." Yeah, the rest is history. I just I just didn't quit. I got hooked, and I mean, I know in the last 10, I've painted a lure every day for the last 10 years.
Wow.
Every day. If I get off work late, I still come out to the shop and do one. I just,
That's cool.
yeah, I love it. And I love to share. I by no means know everything. I'm not a pro painter. Let's don't get it twisted. There are guys out there that are way better painters than me. I
Yeah.
just happen to love it. Try to share what I know. I mean, I'm learning stuff today. I mean, I learned stuff just coming into TikTok in the last 3 weeks with when I'm in there with Dan, Jigs, Stroud, Brasher, Swamp, all of them. I mean, I watch. I'm gonna tell you what I do. I don't always. You won't always see me painting. I'm watching, and I do that because I want to see what you're doing. I want to see
Well,
how you use the airbrush.
well, what I always say is if you're not learning something in here every day, you're not paying attention because there's always something to learn from somebody. A little technique, whether it be shadowing or fading or how to get a stencil on there correctly. And going back to your YouTube stuff, um, I mean, you got into that pretty early. You got into painting 14 years ago. So when you got into painting, was there information out there about it? Was anybody doing any type
No.
of informational video?
Well, there was one guy that I used to watch all the time. His name is Michael Orenstein, and
Okay.
he had Lure Me In Customs. I bet you I watched every one of them videos 1,000 times, literally,
Yeah.
and I got so hooked on it. It's an addictive hobby. I mean, once you get into it, um, yeah, it's just you're constantly trying to do something different. And I think that's where I excel is not the painting piece, but I excel on the creativity piece.
Yeah.
Well, I am colorblind, so I figured I'd go ahead and get that out there.
Well,
Um,
yeah.
I just, I've got every bottle of paint I got is marked. It,
Yes.
I just, I've just learned how to paint that way. Oh, I mean, all my eyes have to be marked. Thank you, walleye guy. My wife appreciates you. But I mean, it's just the way I learned to paint.
Yeah.
Way back in the day, I mean, I'll be honest with you, there were some really good guys back in the day that were painting. But like I said, I was new. I didn't know anybody. Um, and I would try stuff that they did. Oh, that would like set off World War III.
Yeah.
And back in the day, that was, and I didn't mean any harm. I was just inspired by what you did,
Yeah.
and that's why I kind of when I started doing YouTube, I said I'm not going to do people that way. If I ever figure this out and I share, I'm going to share what I know. Like I said, by no means do I know everything about lure painting. I mean, I've tried a lot. There's not too much I hadn't tried, but I try to share because I just think that there's people out there that want information, and I just think it's a crime to hold stuff back in a community that could vanish if you don't take care of it.
Very
Um,
true. Very true.
I just think that uh, people get off in factions, and unfortunately, I did the same thing. I didn't do it actually on purpose, but you get pushed into groups, and I really don't like that. To be honest with you, I like to be friends with everybody. I
Yes,
like to
sir.
talk to everybody. I want to kind of just pick your brain. I want to have fun. I want you to pick mine for whatever I know, and I just think a lot of people miss out.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I think it's sad, to be honest with you. It's terribly sad.
I definitely don't disagree. Everybody has their group they enjoy hanging out with more than others, and there's absolutely nothing wrong with that. But if you're not getting out and meeting new people and seeing the different ways that things get done in different groups, you are missing out on something that could be critical to the way you paint or the way you do lures. And that there are a lot of people who stick to their own circles, and it doesn't just have to do with airbrushing. It could have to do with the tying aspect, the plastics, even the 3D printing is a huge part of it now. There's guys out there that are making their own color shift paints. And if you're not paying attention and getting out there and seeing everybody and learning everything, you're really missing a huge part of it. So I fully agree with you. You need to.
Well, I mean, I don't care what any painter says. There's not a one of them in this chat. How many? There's 56 people in here that hadn't watched somebody's video and
Yeah.
done something that they did. So
Yep.
you've always been inspired by somebody. And I'll be honest with you, really in the last year, it really started bothering me a lot. And I kind of just, I've been pro staff for a couple of places for a long, long time.
Mhm.
And I don't have to drop names. I mean, I can because I'm still friends with them too. I mean, I've been for years with Insane Custom Stencils, Whitmore Farm. I was with Lure Build for a long time. I'm with David and Rosalie now at Pretty Lures. I'm with CJ's Custom 3D Stencils.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't see why you can't be with everybody and get along. For the life of me, it kind of just, it really upsets me that that we're all in the same community and we're not 12 years old.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
I mean, I love the people that I've met along the way. They've all had some piece of me in it. And I really look forward to what's happening with me now. I'm very excited to be doing stuff with David and Rosalie. I've really enjoyed them. I knew David from way back. I knew Barrett Bates. I mean, I didn't know him personally, but I didn't know a lot of these guys. I knew them by name, and I just never had talked with them. And Corey and Josh at CJ's, they're great guys. I mean, Russ Allen, Insane Cut, great people. It can be such a fun thing, a big deal, if you don't let the petty stuff slip into it.
Yes, sir. I fully agree. And you can find yourself stepping into that kind of stuff if you're not careful. There are people out there who love to do it, and nobody in general. It's just the way of the world. Whether you're at work in the factory, same thing happens there. It's grown folks just talking. But I fully agree. Get out there, expand your horizons. Don't stop growing. And I don't see a reason that we all can't be friends with everybody as well.
Well, I mean, it's a poor representation of the community when you get tied up in the junk. I refuse to do it. If I had to, I would stop dealing with everybody and just paint lures before I do that again.
Yeah.
I just won't do it. If I can't get along and help people and kind of, have fun. Well, I'm going to share this with you. And this is sad. I've been happier in the last 3 weeks than I've been in years in lure painting. I really have. I've literally couldn't wait to get out here at 6 o'clock at night. I'm very fond of Dan. Me and Dan have become very good friends. I actually met Dan, not met him, but a year ago, he was messaging me, and I'm really ashamed to say I just didn't take the time to get to know Dan. And I really apologize to Dan for that.
Mm-hmm.
Dan's a good guy. I talk to him every day now, whether I'm at work, we're talking, we're laughing just like we do on the lives. And I just can't tell you how much I appreciate him. Stroud, same way, Wheels, Brasher, Swamp, Tim, Walleye Guy, Holly, North Waters, David, Cody, Rainbow, Muddy. I could go on and on and on. And how these people have taken me in, didn't really know me. They never talked to me. I mean, I'm ashamed to say Danny Rainbow and me were at another deal together, and I never talked to Danny.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
I'm really that really I feel like I lost a lot of time with some of these people because they're good people. And I mean it's really sad. That's why when I came to TikTok, I said, if I build it up, I'm gonna thank you for the cowboy hat. I'm gonna I'm gonna make the most of the platform that I got, and whatever I can do to help, I'm gonna do it. Whatever time I have to sacrifice to do it, I'm gonna do it.
Yeah.
And I just think it's important. I think that I'm really proud of Hunter Stroud for starting YouTube. I talked to him. I think these younger people got to get on there. It can't. I mean, I'm 62 years old. I don't even know how much time I got left, to be honest with you. I know I look 25, but I'm 62. Okay, don't hate down there in the box. Don't start it. Don't start it.
You're asking for it down in the
Don't
box.
start it. Don't start it in the box now. But I mean, it's the truth. I mean, how many really good young painters do we have that are sitting on the sideline? Get your behind on the field. Get in YouTube. Do the other stuff. Quit playing around.
Go
I mean,
for it.
the paint community's not going to sit still. If you're not moving it forward, it'll go away. I promise you. Or it
Yeah.
won't be as good as you want it to be. And for a lot of these guys, they're a lot younger than me. They're going to be around for a long time. And who knows, you may be doing it full time. I mean, could I have done it? I think I could have.
Yeah.
I really do. I just, like I said, you get scared and you don't jump.
Yeah.
That made me one day, when I'm on my deathbed, I said, I sure should have probably done that. But like I said, I think God's got a plan for me either way with this painting. I know it's going to be a big part of my life. Whether it's just in the groups or who I'm talking with, I'm still going to do YouTube. I'm going to crank that back up. I'm still going to stay heavily involved in TikTok. I'm going to stay heavily involved with these guys, to be honest with you. I'm really going to stay in contact with them and just see where they're at, see if they need help, and see what I can do to get them, from where they are to where they really need to be.
Yeah. Well, I tell you, I'm so glad to hear that you would say in the past you weren't so happy. And since you've gotten on here, you've been the happiest in painting. And it's almost like renewed your vigor to get out there and get at your paintbrush and hang out with everybody. And I'm glad you found it to that point. And there's still plenty of time. I think if that's something you wanted to do would be to go full time. I think you would have a lot of support behind you. It just kind of depends on where you're at with everything. I mean, not everybody can just drop what they're doing and do it full time.
Yeah, I mean, I really do love it, and I think that I could do it without a doubt. Mm-hmm. But you've got to be well rounded in everything, marketing, really the painting piece. I think a mistake that a young painter makes, I did it, is you sell too early. I think, in my opinion, now I'm just giving you my opinion on anything I say, guys. It's my opinion. It's not concrete. I think you need to learn how to paint. I think you need to learn what paints do. I think you need to learn air pressure. I think you need to learn what the top coats do. I think you need to learn all of that before you get, I'm going to sell. But, I did it. I did it way back. And I mean, if I would have done it again, I wouldn't have. I just didn't know enough. I mean, I was dipping KBS and selling that garbage. I mean, and that's my opinion too. I mean, everybody's got certain things they like to do. It's like when I do the videos, I've pretty much gone to solvent-based paints. But does that mean that's what you have to do? No, it's just what works for me. I mean, it works for my style of painting. It works for the airbrushes I use. I mean, I just, I'm constantly evolving in something in this game. It's as me, Stroud, and Dan say, it's got levels, and it does. I mean, it's got levels. You're not going to skip levels. I'm just going to tell you that now. You're going to have to you're going to have to do the time. And I mean, there's no instant grits, no instant mashed potatoes. There ain't no instant airbrushing. You're gonna have to learn how to do it.
Yeah.
And it's not gonna be easy. That's why I say you can't do this for a year and say, I give up. You know, dude, like, it's going to take you years to figure out a lot of this stuff. And
Yeah.
that's, to be honest with you, that's why I did YouTube, to try to shorten that for some people, because there were a lot of things that I did that just kept me there for years.
Yeah.
I mean, you can't just sit there and get home every night and go out to wherever you paint, to your little quiet zone, and do the same thing every night.
Yeah. Well, you can't be good at everything. You know, you're going to be good at some things and they're going to come natural and a little easier.
Yeah.
Other things you're going to have to work at and figure out what works for you, what gives you your style, and just continually improve on those things. And as you further along with the airbrush, you might pick up those things you were missing on how to get the shadowing in somewhere right, what colors mix well together, how everything kind of comes together on a bait that looks like it has color shift, but there's not a bit of color shift on it, something like that, or how you get such depth to a bait. Those are all things. They don't just happen. Those come with time.
Well, they don't. You're going to have to. Well, like I said, the practicing piece. If you don't listen to anything I say tonight, you better do that. I mean, that when I started doing that probably 6 or 7 years ago, that's really kind of what changed it over. You know, the crayons ain't going to work for you, Spotted Monkey.
I see him down there.
You're gonna send the orange ones to Corey? Yeah, we got to talk about that later too. But I mean, I take every stencil I get, whether it's something I just got from David and Rosalie, from something that I dug up from Insane Custom Stencils 10 years ago when I was with them on the ground level, and
Right.
I just spray that on paper towels. You can do that with different air pressures just to get a feel for what you're doing.
Yep.
And I mean, instead of sitting there burning through a bunch of blanks, I did that, and I would hate to tell y'all the boxes of old painted lures that I have. I'm talking about thousands in boxes that are just sitting in the house, and
Yeah.
I'm going, that was stupid,
Yeah.
and I'm just being honest, and I did that. I mean, it was like now I may come out in a live, and I may paint 10 baits in that couple hours. But I put a little bit of thought into that, what I'm doing. I'm not, there's always something going. I mean, I do freestyle sometimes to come out here, but most of the time I have something in mind. I mean, I could just paint crawls for the rest of my life and not paint nothing else. I don't have to paint a shad. I don't have to paint anything. I don't have to paint a rat. No, I can paint a crawl, and that's it. That's just what I love. That's my thing. That's what I've made my name on. And everything behind me is a crawl. I mean,
Yeah.
and I got 100 sitting right here for a drop that I'm going to do. And there's a few that I have to paint some blueback heron or some shad in for some guys that I know. But I love to do crawls, and that's what I've pretty much made my name off of.
Skeeter says the crawl king right here. Well, let's get into some of the bones of what you do. I think a lot of people have shown up and they would like to know a little bit more in depth on what you do, maybe what you use, things like that. So I want to take a step back. Do you remember the first airbrush you had or what it was?
Yeah, it was a Masters. I can't remember the number of it, but it was a Masters. It was in a kit.
Yep.
And I think I used it for, about the first year.
Yeah. And nowadays, what would be your airbrush of choice, your confidence airbrush that you pick up?
All right. So I have to use solvent-based packing in my airbrushes. My workhorse is an HP CH Iwata.
Mm-hmm.
All my airbrushes have a valve at the end. You won't see me um, in a video, reach down and grab my compressor. I usually set it on about 18, and I change this right here. This is probably the best detail brush in the business. It is a Krios PS771 with a .18. I have a Micron, which I pick at the guys with. I got it over in a case. They get a little smart. I'm gonna get it out, then I'm gonna show them something, but yeah, no, the Krios, a lot less money, excellent gun, but
Yeah,
it's
yeah.
not a beginner gun. I've got 4 of the HPCHs. I got 4 PS771s. I have a Krios PS290 trigger gun I use for heavy base coats. I've got a couple of the gallery. I got one sent to me, which I'll sell. Anybody that wants a gallery, I'll sell. I got a brand new one that's got the siphon feet on the bottom. I just don't like them. Just not my thing. Everybody, like I said, airbrushes are a personal preference. That's an opinion only. I just love the feel of the Iwatas that I have and the PS771. I've used them for, probably the last 7 years. They've seen them in my videos. It's just my go-to. Does that mean that's what you got to use? No, it doesn't. There's tons of other companies that make great airbrushes.
Yeah. In my personal opinion, I'm still a starter in airbrushing. I don't even have a year and a half in. And I started with the Masters because it came in a kit, came with, everything to do with it. The hose, the compressor and everything. The most expensive one I own is an Iwata Neo. And I'll tell you now, the Iwata Neo it's a great airbrush. Yep. And the Masters is a good airbrush. You don't have to buy an expensive airbrush to get started. And like you have said many times, when you get started, you have to learn how to use, let's learn how to use what we have.
That's
get
right.
Good with it, and then start moving along.
And use what you can afford. It's not, right. If I was going to pick one, if I started over again and I was able to, and I know somewhat what I know now, and I was starting, I think I would grab me an Iwata Eclipse to start.
Yep.
I think the .35 is probably the most versatile gun out there. Yep. After you get to use it, you can do fine lines with it. You can do base coats with it. In my personal opinion, I do think the airbrush matters. I do. I've painted a long time. I've used them all. I think it does matter. I had an easier time painting when I kind of moved up a little bit. Even though I still didn't know how to use it. I hear people all the time, even in the lives, they'll say, I got dry tip or whatever. You got to learn to use the airbrush. As soon as you let off the air, you're going to get dry tip. You've got to keep that finger down the whole time. Mm-hmm. And it's learning how to use the airbrush. It's just, but if you go out there and you're popping it and that's what you like to do, have at it. What I'm saying, it doesn't matter. That doesn't make it right. I'm just telling you what I do, how I learned. Nobody really showed me how to use it. I just kind of practiced and kind of figured it out. Believe you me, I got the little, and everybody's seen this on my video, that I get more questions about this than I get half the time and anything. What is in that sponge? What do you have in that water? And it's just alcohol for dry tip because I wasn't using my airbrush right. I'd get dry tip and I could just dip it, knock it off and go. Yeah. I'm not the guy that picks it off the end. I'm just not that guy.
That's what I have the exact same cup sitting right here.
Yeah.
So what you're trying to explain is when you're using the airbrush, when you push down, that's air. When you draw back, that's where you're getting your paint. And what you're saying is most painters, a lot of painters, I won't say all of them, will push down, they'll get the air, they'll pull back for the paint, and then they just let go of the whole thing.
Let go of it. And then
as soon as you do that, you now have paint in the tip of the airbrush with no air, nothing going across it. It didn't get cleaned out. You're getting the dry tip. So we take and we have a cup like this and we're dabbing it in this cup. And
it's got a sponge in it.
Yep, it's got a sponge in it, and it takes the paint off the end of the airbrush, and you can start painting again. That's what he means by the dry tip. So
And you can avoid that, like I said, by just practicing, getting to understand how to use the airbrush.
slide forward. If you read the manual of an airbrush, it says it right in there. You are supposed to draw back for the paint, then slide forward, hold the air, and then let off. And it cleans out the tip of the airbrush. So, very good point. Very good point. So, you said you use lots of the alcohol inks, or not inks, I'm sorry, paints,
Solvent base, yes.
solvent base.
Mhm.
So you don't use a lot of water base, you use a lot of solvent base. And I'm sure you came to that conclusion over the years of using both.
I did. I actually, I've got two booths. I'm sitting at my solvent base booth here. I've got one booth that's just totally set up with solvent base. I got another chair and another booth that has nothing but water base. So depending on what I'm doing, I mean, I don't use the water based one as much anymore. When I started selling again last year, about fall, September, I really made the move to solvent base. It's I don't have to heat set. I mean, and to be honest with you, in my opinion, the paint quality, the vibrance of the colors is there's no comparison.
Okay. Yeah. Good ventilation.
Well,
If
I've
you're,
got 700 CFM fans going out of my shop. Yeah, you don't want to do that and get yourself. Now, I'll be on some of those lives and I won't have a mask on, but I don't do. I'll be honest with you. When we're on those lives, I'm not painting a ton.
yeah, yeah,
No, that's dangerous. You'll hurt yourself. And I've got the fan running, so it sucks it out as fast as what little bit I'm doing, so I can actually talk. But for the most part, I've got a
yeah.
three filter respirator. I got it on when I'm painting to sell, and I'm in here going to town. Yeah, I got the respirator on.
Yeah. Well, if you're new, maybe this is the first time you're tuning in, you're thinking about painting something like that. Make no mistake. You need to have ventilation. You need to be using a mask. And just because it says water based does not mean it's not harmful to sit there and breathe in for the 3 hours that you spend painting. Those big clouds that you see in your lights is going right in your face. Even though you have some ventilation going on, if you have one of the small portable booths, like what I have, they have a little tube that comes off the back and goes out the window. Yeah, it's going to draw up quite a bit, but you still need to be protecting yourself as well.
Yeah,
So,
water based, the same thing. And I know a lot of these guys, depending on what kind of clear coat you're painting, when I actually do UV resin, that's my go to. But I do 2K clear also. And I've got a full mask respirator, covers up everything. And you
yeah,
really want to wear long sleeves. I mean, the stuff can hurt you.
yeah,
And you really have to be careful. And you really got to know what you're doing. Don't just go buy that stuff and just start winging it. You better get some information, talk to some people and that are doing it, and yeah, get the information before you try to bite into that.
yes, sir. We're going to give you a little break here. We're going to give you a letter of the code. We have a code for the Pretty Lures giveaway, and we're going to give you one of those letters. And your first letter is the letter M. The letter M. So, if you don't mind, I want to take a step back and you had said first off you have to label all your paints because now because you're colorblind, I'm anxious to know, and I think other people would. How does that affect, or does it affect the way you paint at all? I mean, the colors that you can see and the colors that you can't. It doesn't matter if you're fading a red into a green or putting that in the background. It doesn't affect you because you can see a color in general, and you can see where it's coming together and fading over.
Yes, I don't. I mean, I have a lot of trouble with purples and blues and greens and browns. Little bit of red, not bad. You know, I mean, I can tell it's there. I'm gonna tell you how I paint. This will make more sense. most of the time, any bait that I've got, and I'll just grab one, like this one. This is a neon chartreuse and black. Oh, a lot of times, let me get a different one. Let's see here. I'm trying to find one that'll actually. This one right here will do it. This has only got 3 colors. I use I use white as I always start out with white. I'm a light to dark painter. And then I'll take a lighter color, like in this case, orange, and then I have the blue. So the blue is darker than the orange, and that's how I paint. I know the difference between I know one's darker than the other, so right. I don't have trouble painting. I mean, I can paint any color I got. I may not be able to. I mean, well, it's like me having all the lures on the rack. They're not labeled. Yeah. So when I go to package this, I got to get the wife out here, and she's got my TikTok out going, okay, it's that one. It's that one. I can't, some of those I just can't tell. I mean, I'm being honest. It's, it's just the way it is. It's, but you can do whatever you want to. I mean, I'll put some of my painting up against some of the best out there. But that's just my style. You don't see me do a lot of dark paints. I think that's another huge mistake people make. And I see it. I've seen it in the last 3 weeks with a lot of the new guys. That's why I go light to dark. I want my detail to be shown, especially when I'm doing stencil work. If I sit there and I put a dark base down and I do let's just say black stencil, and then I try to put some more colors in it, you're not going to see it all. I mean, if I go light to dark, I mean, just because I do a white base coat doesn't mean the bait won't be yellow or whatever. I mean, I can darken it up as I go if that's what I choose to do. Right. And I think that's where, like I said, not that I'm not the best painter, but not even close. It's my creativity what I do with the paint to make my baits. I think that's where I excel. That's where I think I'm an expert.
Yeah. Well, I fully agree with you. I've taken a step back from running through the auctions and painting consistently. Because it's fishing season and that's my love. I love to fish, but also to get some of these techniques you're talking about, and the simple fact of going from the lights to the darks and getting your detail in there is super important. And I think when you're new to painting, you just want to get some color on a lure and you want to get it out there and you want everybody to say how good it is. And sometimes that's the excitement of it all. And some people are really talented right out of the gate. That doesn't mean that you can't improve in areas. And like I always say, if you're not learning, you're not really listening and paying attention. And what I've learned is that I needed to take a step back and I need to get some of my basics down a little better before I try some of the stuff that I see everybody doing. So.
Well, I think, like I said, it's just, I see that a lot in the painting community. I see that they're really dark. And I mean, it's not that the bait looks bad, but you're not going to see all the detail that you put in it. Yeah. And I think that if they would back out of that just a little bit, like I said, I had to do that. I didn't start doing that till a couple of years ago, painting light to dark. And when I started doing that, I told you I've been doing it a long time, but I think the last 3 years I've really kind of came into my own with making the baits look really good, clean. And I do that just light to dark. And that's a lot of people don't tell people that. They just let them go. I just think that if you try it, and if you're doing a lot of stencil work and you do like to do crawls and stuff like that, I think you'll see a huge difference in your detail. And another thing, I was just talking to Dan about this today. We were talking about candies. I don't use, candies are super transparent. I call them my add-on paint. You know, I may do a top. I don't ever do a whole bait around. You know, I may do around the eyes. I may do some of the top. You know, I do it for accent to kind of make the bait pop. And it's just learning how to use the paints that you got, knowing what an opaque will do and knowing what a transparent will do. And, you know, like I said, there's just so much to this game. It's crazy. I mean, you really, if you're really hungry for it, then you're gonna play around and learn and figure this thing out. And it just takes time.
Yeah. I see Barrett down there. He says, but I like black.
Well, I mean, and I'm not saying that that's wrong. I've seen some of his baits here lately that are really dark, and if that's David's thing, then so be it. I'm not saying it looks bad. I'm
Yeah,
just saying
yeah.
my style is just different. Well, I think styles are like a fingerprint. You know, we were talking about this earlier about sharing. I don't give two rips who copies me.
Yeah.
They can all get on. They can all get off this thing tonight and go paint whatever I got going on. I don't care. That
Yeah.
makes me happy. Do what you got to do. That is not going to offend me in the slightest.
Right.
I think that I haven't. I've yet to see somebody paint like me. But
Yeah.
it's a style, and I'm not saying that. Oh, mine's perfect. No, I'm not saying that. I'm just saying that's my style.
Yeah.
I think that I could put my baits on there and not put my name on it and post it, and people can tell you that that's mine.
Can we
That
get?
that
Go
what he
ahead.
say? What he said?
Brasher said, "Can we get the Frank's crawl stencil?"
Well, I'll tell you what. You better get in that chat box because you never know what's going to get given away at the end of this.
You never know.
You never know. I ain't saying it is. I ain't saying it ain't. But I'm saying there's probably a good chance somebody's going to get something tonight that nobody's got.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Let's ask you another question that we always ask on here, and you've touched on it a little bit, and that's clear coat. So I spoke with you a little bit in the lives and things like that, and I myself know that you've tried a variety of clear coats, but why don't we touch on some of the clear coats?
All right. So I'll just go back to the beginning. When I first started, I used the epoxy that everybody uses, and it was DEF CON. I was trying to think of the name. I'm getting old. I'm forgetful. But yeah, it was. I was a DEF CON guy. I bought me the little wheel, and I spun them, and they'd spin for 8 hours, and you know, and I did that. And then I kind of KBS came out, and yeah, that part of my fishing life was kind of rough because like I said, you know, that KBS, you'd have to line that lid with the saran wrap, and I didn't do that at first, so I locked down about 2 or 3 cans, and yeah, that was $100 kicked in the trash can, and you know that's a moisture cured urethane. It's dangerous. I was doing that. I've got 2 houses side by side, and at one time I had my booth in the house. You know, we didn't live there, so but I was doing KBS in the house, and I'm gonna tell you what, that stuff will kill you.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm just being honest, and it's. I mean, I can honestly say that's when I sold, and I shouldn't have been selling, but I had more lures and bills break with KBS than I had anything I've ever used. And don't get me wrong, I really am not bashing something. I'm just telling you my experience with this. If you use KBS, have at it. I'm not telling you what to use. I'm just telling you my journey through this. Then there was I used Lure Coat from Lure Build, and I used True Coat for a while, and that one was tricky because I think it was done by volume, and at that time I wasn't that guy either, so I was screwing that up. I'm getting sticky baits like everybody gets, and so I kind of phased out of that, and and then I kind of went to the UV, and I just hadn't looked back. I mean, I used Illuma UV when it was the red label, which was fantastic, probably the best I've ever used. Then they changed the formula about a year ago to purple, and I just could not get it to do. And I switched to this company right here after trying a bunch. I went to Solar Res Diamond, and I'll put my baits up against anybody.
Yeah.
Anybody.
Yeah.
Anybody. I'm telling you, it's. I see people in the chat. They were saying they were having a UV nightmare, but I'm gonna tell you where the nightmare is. It's not in the. Well, it's not in this. It's in their lights.
Yeah.
They don't understand the lights and what you
Yeah.
have to do with that. I mean, I don't have a huge box. That's what I see all the time. I see people will call me and they'll go, "Man, my baits are sticky. I don't know what I'm doing. I'm using what you're using." There we go with that again. But are you doing it like I'm doing it? Probably not.
Right.
I mean, my box is not very big, and I've got lights in every corner, and I've got one in the bottom shooting up. And I think the key to UV is not to have a bunch of oxygen around it. They're building these giant boxes with like 2 lights in it, and then they're
Yeah.
throwing baits in, and it's not enough light, and they're going to have sticky baits.
Mhm.
I could when I'm in my what I call drop mode. I mean, I'm turning 4 baits every 8 minutes in my box, and you could bounce them off of concrete, and they're not going to break. I think it's just you got to learn how to do it, and you got to learn what's best for you. The bigger isn't always better. I
Yeah.
mean, Dan's going to say it is, but it ain't. But but it ain't. I mean, my box is not very big. I'm not a carpenter, so I took I call it a potato box. It's a wooden stand-up box. It's got a lid that just slid over it, and I made it a light box. And I just don't do a lot at one time. And I got enough lights in there to hit all the sides. And I think that's the key. And I use 365 nanometer. I don't change that. Everybody's going, well, the directions say 395 and 405. And I'm going, okay, well, how's that working out for you? It's not. I'm having sticky bait. Okay, well let's go back. I'm using
Yeah.
365, and I ain't changed. I don't care if it's a Luma UV, the Zon UV, whatever. I'm
Yeah.
using the same thing. I'm not changing that because it works. And
Yeah.
if I had to give you advice on that, that's my opinion again. That's what works for me. Don't go gigantic. Build you a reasonable box. Get enough lights in it, and you're not going to have trouble.
I think that might be a common mistake, and I'm glad you touched on that a little bit. Is not going with too big a box. Even if you're going to go with a huge box and put tons of lights in it, there's still a lot of other characteristics you need to be paying attention to, and that the lights, the size of the box, the oxygen, all that stuff.
Well, I'll tell you, I'll give you this is going to be a tip. I know, like I said, this has helped me tremendously. I've got a little coffee cup warmer. I break my UV down into small containers, small dark containers. You can get them on the Amazon. I plug it in. I plug that mug warmer up, and I set it on that mug warmer, and I let it warm for about 15 minutes before I do it. I don't put any UV on when it's like molasses.
Okay.
It's gonna be very watery, kind of like milk consistency. I've had better luck with that not bubbling. It's gonna I call it brush drag. When I'm running UV over a lure, if you run it dry, you don't have enough product on the brush. You don't need a lot. I don't dip anything. I see a lot of guys, they wanna do now I'm drawing a blank. Oh, the stuff I lock the lid on, God knows I'm drawing a blank. KBS.
Yes.
They want to dip it. You're wasting a ton of product. I mean, I can use this right here. I could probably do 6,000 or 7,000 lures with that.
Wow.
And that's only a 32. That's a quart.
Yeah.
I put a thin coat on and I brush it on. I only put one on. I get that. I get asked that a lot. They're going, well, how many coats you putting on that? One. That's all I need. I don't need 2 or 3 coats. You're gonna change the lure's ability to work, to swim. You can't do that. You've got to be smart. I'm not trying to add a bunch of weight to a blank that I know that's gonna catch fish. And I do the bill because I want to clear the bill up. when you put it on the bill, it's going to clear it up like brand new. They look brand new, like coming off the shelf at the store. It's not going to be cloudy. A lot of people don't like doing it. I do it. I've always done it, and I think I think it just finishes your bait off. But one coat of UV is all you need if you're doing multiple coats. Now, when you do 2K clear, that could be a different ball game. I mean, I may do maybe 2-3 light coats at best. I only use 2K clear on swim baits, and I don't paint that many swim baits.
Okay.
I mean, I've got it. I use I use Luma Base 200. A lot of guys don't know about that. It's probably the best on the market. I'll put that up against Tamco 95. I've got it sitting on the shelf. There ain't nothing I hadn't tried. I'm just gonna tell you, I'm that guy. I heard you say about Danny trying everything. Yeah, I guarantee I'm worse than Danny.
So here's the real question. Everybody keeps talking about the label. It went from red label to purple label, and it didn't work for them after that. They weren't satisfied with it. There's a lot of painters out there, and it can't be just painters who think that change was bad for that UV. So the real question is why did they change it without offering the old style, and why haven't they gone back?
I don't know. I know there's guys in this chat. I haven't seen all the names. I know Jonathan Wampler's in here. I saw his name. I don't know if he's still in here, but I've known Jonathan for the last 7-8 years, and we've talked just about once a month for that long. And we're both UV guys. And when they changed it, I don't know why they changed, but it had to cost that company a ton of money.
It had to have. I have heard everybody I've talked to has tried that brand of UV has said since they switched, it is not good. They don't like it.
I've got a brand new can of it sitting, and I mean it was that much different. I'm very peculiar about what I do, from painting my lures to the top coat. I mean, if you're gonna sell something, you better make sure you're turning out something good. Don't shortcut stuff, guys.
Yeah.
I'm just gonna tell you, you won't be selling long because the word will get out.
Yeah.
Anybody that's been on here any amount of time is gonna tell you that. I don't shortcut anything. I'd rather do 25 lures and have them perfect than do 100 and have them half. You know what?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. So you've never, have you done 2-part epoxies? Have you tried BSI or anything like that?
Yeah, I've used DEFCON, BSI, I've used them all. And I'll be honest with you, I love the finish of it. I'm going to tell you one of the main reasons that I changed the UV. You know, when I bought the boat 2 years ago, I want to be able to run out here. If I got an idea when I'm at work, I could paint it in 7-8 minutes, and I can clear it in 7-8 minutes, and I can be going to the lake with it.
Yeah.
You know, I can do that. I can't do that with epoxy. It's got to, for me, when I did it, it would have to run at least 8 hours for me. I wanted to make sure it was totally cured. I mean, and like I said, I've seen some people got great big wheels. I didn't have that. I had one that held maybe 15, and that's, I mean, if I'm doing, like I said, when I'm doing my drops and I'm doing 100 lures, man, I'm going to be epoxying for a while. And I'm not doing it full time. So I'm having to do this, on my spare time. So I'm trying to be efficient in what I'm doing. That's the only, I have nothing against the epoxy. I love the epoxy.
Yeah.
I will share this. Every contest I've ever won, lure contest, I've used epoxy.
Okay. And what about do you believe in the gassing off process, whether it's UV or epoxy or whatever you're using?
I'm going to share how I do my drops. I'll come out here on a Monday night. If you look at my TikTok, I've got just a basic wooden dowel, and it's got clothespins on it. It'll hold 52 lures. And that's how I do my drops. I'll take those 52, I'll tape them all up, I base coat them, I let them dry overnight. I come back the next day, and I've already got it wrote down with sticky notes on. I usually do them in 4s. I do designs in 4, so I'll write down my designs. I'll paint those 52 in 2 hours with a crawl design, shad, whatever the case may be. I let them dry overnight. I come back Wednesday and I put my UV on. I'm putting hooks on Thursday. I drop on Friday.
Okay.
It's a process. You can't. I mean, I'll tell you. And I'll share this. We're doing these lives every night at 6 o'clock, and I'll paint some, and I'm getting I'm getting ahead of the game. I'm going. I want to show Dan and them and Stroud the bait. I want to show it done, and I'll go ahead and UV it. But I can tell a difference in my UV on a bait that I've done the same day than I've done doing my weekly process.
Gotcha.
Don't rush the process. That's the advice. Don't do that.
So we do have a question. I'll take it out of there. OG says, can you talk a bit about how important UVLS is? Is UVLS important to you?
It is. It's critically important. I've got it right here. If I don't care. I don't use it on solvent base. If I'm water basing, I mean, it's a water-based acrylic polyurethane. It is a paint protectant. I put a coat of this on whatever bait I paint that's water-based. I don't care what it is. I don't care if it's just a yellow and black one. Not no fancy design. It's getting this over the bill, the whole bait, and it's going to dry overnight before I put a top coat on it. And I promise you, your baits are going to look like $1 million compared to not using it, and they're not going to fade. It's going to protect that. You actually have to use this if you use Candy 2.0.
Yes.
So if you're using a Candy 2.0 candy, you're going to mix this. I put 4011 in it, a little bit of reducer, and then my candy. And then I'm going to let it sit for 15 minutes. Another tip. Let it sit. Let it bond. Don't put it in your airbrush and stir it up and shoot it out of the brush. Let it sit. Get some cups like this right here. You can get them I get them at Sam's Club. You can get 2,500 for $12.
Yep.
And what I do is, if I know, like I said, if I'm using water base and I'm painting a run of something and I'm going to have candy in it, I've already mixed them. They're sitting in the booth, and they're going to sit, most of them sit 30 minutes. You're going to see a huge difference in your candies. And I'm going to give you another tip on candies. Me and Dan were just talking about it today. Do not heat set a candy. Don't do it.
No.
You're going to compromise it, and you can do whatever you want to. I've done it every which way in the world, and that I am going to tell you that I'm right on. I have, if you call them, they're going to tell you, don't heat set a candy. Yeah. Candies are so thin, and they have what they call bleed checker, and I do use that too, depending on what I'm using, what I'm doing. But if you put candy on, you're going to think it's thin, and you're going to take that airbrush and you're going to hit it, and it's going to puddle it. It's going to push it down. It's going to do crazy stuff, and it's going to frustrate you. So, Candy 2.0 tip of the day: don't heat set it. Put it in a little container. Let it sit. You're going to see huge differences in the quality of bait you're going to turn out, and just let them dry. I know we get all excited. I did the same thing. I do it to this day. I'll come out here and I want to top coat that thing. I want to show it off.
You're ready to go.
Yeah, but it is a mistake. Let it dry. Let it dry overnight, and you're going to be a lot happier with your baits and the products you turn out. That's a huge tip.
Yeah, I think that was the first 3 things I was told: is make sure you mix it with your 40-50, make sure you leave it set for 15 minutes, and do not use heat to set it. Do not.
I see people doing it, and I'm going, it's just, well, the thing is,
game.
If you spray let's just say you just did a yellow base and a black top, and you took the black candy and you wanted to shine it up a little bit, and you put it on there and you heat set it, what's going to happen is you're going to dry the top of that candy, but the bottom of it's not going to get dry. And then you're going to put that top coat on, and buddy, you're going to have a surprise. You're going to find out what blistering is and fish. You're going to figure it out. It's going to look bad, and you're going to go, "What am I doing? What am I doing wrong?"
Yeah.
Let it dry. Just let it dry.
I see you down there, Brasher. It was Brasher and Tim who first started talking to me about candies. I got some candy and wanted to go for it, and they explained to me how to use it, and it taught me a lot of patience. Like you said, you get that bait out there and you're ready to go, and it teaches you slow down. Slow down.
I would hate to tell you how many times I want to throw that top coat on and post it on Facebook or get my YouTube video done, and it just never works out good for me.
Let it dry or cry, Tim says.
That's right. Let it dry or cry. That's right, because that's what you're going to do.
We'll give you a little break here. We're going to give you another code. This code is coming out for the Pretty Lures giveaway. The next letter is the letter L. The letter L. Make sure you guys get over and check out Pretty Lure. Like I said, you can get over there and pre-order their newest lure, the Rocker. You can get over there and pre-order that now. Make sure if you're going to pre-order the Rocker, that's what you do, is just pre-order the Rocker. And if there's other things that you want, do that on a separate sale. That way you can still get your other stuff. The Rockers, they're a pre-order right now. So it's about, give or take, 4 weeks out, but they're taking the pre-orders. Plus, they did get in a shipment of the Strikers. You can get over there and get your Strikers. Like I mentioned before, they had to polish off, and that's the word I was looking for earlier, is polish off the PL off the back of it. But the lure is still a great lure. They just really pride themselves on putting out a lure that you can basically prep just a little bit and start your paint job on it. So they just wanted you to know that. You can get over there and order the Strikers, but they will have that little blemish on the back that you may have to work with a little bit, just depending. But make sure and get over and check out Pretty Lures. Let me make sure I mark off those letters.
And I'm going to tell you something about that Rocker. I did get a couple of the prototypes of that.
Go for it.
And I'm going to be real honest with you. That is a great quality bait. I'm really excited about what David and Rosalie are doing and how this is going to really change the painting community. It's going to get it, well, because they're not knockoffs. See, that's what everybody's got to understand. These are not knockoffs. So you're actually getting the real deal. It's not a knockoff. These molds are made, and then the baits are made. So it's a really exciting time for us in the bait community with this. I mean, it's like the Strikers. I've kind of fell in love with them. I've painted probably 130 of them in the last 3 weeks, and it's a great fun bait to paint. It's a good quality bait. Yeah. And you're just not going to go wrong with them. They're very nice.
Yeah. So I'm so glad you brought that up. And when he's saying knockoffs, so much of a bait has to be changed before just anybody can sell it, right? Whether it's a KVD bait, something like that, Megabass, it has to be changed so much. So it is a knockoff style bait. However, when it comes to the Pretty Lures Rocker and Striker, so far, just those two, they are original lures. They worked with a company and got these lures completely molded and made special for them. And as a matter of fact, you can't get them anywhere else. If you want one of the Strikers or the Rockers, you have to go to Pretty Lure. It is exclusive to them, and it is not a knockoff. That is an original lure. I've been able to fish with the Striker, and so far I am loving that Striker. So one of the Rockers is what I want to get next, but just like many of you, I am waiting for it to come out. There are some people who did get those to help Pretty Lures test them out. Frank was one of those. A lot of their other pro staff also got them. But I've heard nothing but good things, and I cannot wait to get my hands on one. As a matter of fact, the first one I paint is going to nobody else but me.
That's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna get some for myself. I will
Yeah.
be doing drops of them though, because that's gonna be a hot bait. Yeah, I've told David and Rosalie they better buckle up because it's coming.
Yeah.
And like I said, it's going to come with the rocker. The rocker, once we get it out there and people start seeing it, and God help if we get it in a pro's hands, what's going to end up happening? It's going to get
Yeah.
crazy.
Yeah. I think some of the issues that they may have to think about, and I say issues, maybe that's a bad word. It's a great thing for them is they're going to have to think about how they're going to get some of these pre-orders out. Cause I think we're going to start to back up really quick. I know, let's take you for instance. When you order, you don't order 4 or 5 baits. You can sit down and paint 4 or 5 baits in 10, 15 minutes, I'm sure.
Well, I mean, I'll be honest with you. When I really start getting to rolling, I'll order them 200, 300 at a time.
Exactly.
And because I can't, to be honest with you, I can't. I've got to have them. I mean, if I'm going to do the drops, and I don't sell outside of the drops. I don't do custom orders. That's just not my style. I don't have time with my work schedule, so I do the drops. But I want the baits so I can get them out, and I sell them all over the world. When I do a drop, they go all over the United States. They go overseas. Haddon Outdoors has been great to me. They do all the shipping and stuff. All I do is drop the baits and go. And it's been a really good deal for me. And like I said, I just think that, like I said, David and Rosalie better hang on.
Yeah. Well, I think they're ready for it. They're great. Their customer service is great. I think they're going to get a lot of business when it comes to having an original lure like that. And once they get rolling with it, I think they're going to have to amp up the amount that they're getting ordered over. So
they won't be able to keep them.
No, with as excited as a lot of people are for these, and as excited as some of the painters who paint in bulk like you do, you know, we're not going to lie. You're not the only one who orders them in bulk like
That's
that.
right. Well, that's what I was just getting ready
bulk.
to say. You're talking about. I mean, I don't even think the community realizes how many people are in this community. It would probably be well in the hundreds of thousands of people that do this.
Sir.
And like I said, we don't. The average Joe doesn't think about that. And there are a lot of people doing that we love to do.
I always refer back to one person. I don't know who said it. They were new to TikTok and they were in a live with us, and they said, wow, this is, you know, a great community and this and that. And they talked about, you know, there's only like what, maybe 20 or 50 of you guys. And I'm like, no. There's thousands and thousands. And that directly relates back to what you were saying earlier. Get out there. Don't stay stuck in your one little circle. Those may be your best friends, and that is amazing. I'm not saying don't hang out with them. I'm saying get to know the community. My goodness, you will be amazed at how many people are out there. I see new faces, new names, I should say. Every day I see new names, and it's people who've been painting for years. I just didn't know they were there.
Well, like I said, it's this thing's fixing to explode. I mean, with what they're doing and the vision that they have, I mean, I couldn't have came in with them at a better time.
Yeah.
And I mean, I'm excited. I mean, it's going to be a fun time to be a lure painter, and you're going to get to do a lot of new stuff. And like I said, it's not a knockoff. I'm going to be honest with you. Something else. I don't just sell any blank. I'm very funny about what I sell. There's a lot of blanks out there that I wouldn't sell to my enemy. I mean, I sell a certain couple, and that's what I do. I just think you got to be careful with that being new. If you're in this and you're just starting out, don't just start ordering everything and anything and slapping hooks on it, and you ain't went out there and messing with it, and that thing's going to roll over like a dead fish. You know, you got to be smart.
Yeah, yeah. I don't disagree. You have to test them out yourself. And we'll say one more thing about Pretty Lure. We'll move on with the interview. I they've sent me some videos of testing of lures, and they work great. Like I seen a testing of this rocker that's coming out in a pool to where you could see every movement it was making, and it was working phenomenal. So we'll just leave it at that. As far as it works phenomenal, you got to get one in your hands, and I don't disagree. Once this gets into the hand of a pro, I let's just say it gets into the hand of a pro, and they win a tournament with it. I could not imagine what's going to happen after that.
And it's going to happen. It's not if it's going to happen. It's when. It's going to happen. Somebody's going to grab it, and then it's going to get nuts. It's going to go off the rails.
You got your order in? Yeah, get your orders in. Don't be afraid to jump over there and get your order in. They are going to go fast, and there's only so many for the pre-order. If they get tons of orders in a pre-order, of course they're just gonna keep getting more and more of them. So,
and if you're new to Pretty Lures, you can use my code CHCL10 and get 10% off your total order.
Yep.
Help me out. Come on, guys. I want you to use that code.
Do it. So we've touched on quite a few things. Is there anything specific that you think we might have missed that you want to touch on? We're not near done, but I'm just asking.
Yeah, I mean, we kind of touched on candies. I was going to tell you the solvent-based candies are totally different. I don't have to mix those with anything.
Really?
I do the same thing. I just put them in the brush and go. Now that you can do.
Yeah.
And I use House of Color paints. I didn't say that.
Okay.
But that's what I use. It's a very high quality paint. They're a little pricey, but on the flip side of that, I don't want to turn out a bad product.
Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, I'm OCD to death about my lures. I just I don't think the pictures do them justice. I think when you get them in your hand, it's a different ball game.
Yeah. I know lots of people who use high quality cameras trying to take pictures and different ways and little photo booths, and it never does a lure justice. If you like that lure on camera, if you see a lure that you like on camera, you are gonna love it in person. They're just totally different. You see more colors, you see more detail. They just look great in person. And I can't wait to see one of his in person. I should have one on the way here, but
you're going to have a couple. Like I said, I've always given away more than I've ever sold. It's not about the money with me. I don't. I've got a job. I mean,
yeah.
I do the drives to kind of offset. I do pay for it on my boat but I offset my supplies and the stuff that I buy.
Yeah, yeah.
But I just like I said, I just want to have fun. I want to paint. I want to have a good time.
Yes, sir.
And just see where it goes.
Yeah, I don't disagree with you at all. So, is there a favorite when it comes to all your paints? Is there a certain brand that you find yourself using more than any other?
Are you talking about a paint brand name or a color?
Yeah, paint brand name.
House of Color is all I'm going to use.
Okay.
I can't even really explain it to you until you see one of the lures. It's just, in my opinion, it's just day and night difference to water based. I mean, the pigments, the atomization, you're talking about a totally different ball game.
But we can't take. Maybe we can answer this for me. I heard you talking about the packing that's in the airbrush. Yours is a solvent-based packing. So does that mean I can't just take the paint line that you're using and throw it in the airbrush I have setting right here?
You'll wreck it. You gotta know what the airbrush. A lot of the Iwatas already have it. I know the Krioses have it.
Okay.
So, and I'll be honest with you, if you're looking for a good airbrush, Krios has some lower end ones like $100 a piece that have solvent based packing, and they're a point two, a very good airbrush. I know there's people on here that use them because I've seen them talk about it in the lives. I've only used the PS771, and I've got this one right here. Like I said, I've got a PS290 trigger that I use, which is an excellent gun. $100. It's not an expensive gun, but it's a workhorse.
Yeah.
And I just, I don't want to spray. I can't spray base coats through a .18 or a .2. I just don't do that.
Correct.
You're gonna have trouble doing that. You got to kind of match up what you got. And like I said, that's why I said if you're gonna just have one airbrush, in my opinion, I would have a Iwata Eclipse, a .35. It's going to do it all. It's going to do it's going to do the base coats. It'll do, it'll do detail work to start until you get better at it. It's just like I said, there's levels to this. You're just going to have to kind of work your way up and get comfortable, and you got to do what you can afford.
Yep. And if you guys are wondering, yes, you can go to Pretty Lures and get your Iwatas. They are an Iwata dealer, so you can get over there and get your Iwatas. So I seen a question down there. Where would be the best place to go to get that paint brand, the House of Colors?
I deal with a company called Color Coalition, both spelled with a K, not C, and they're out of Texas.
Okay.
They'll actually do custom paints for you too. They've got ready to spray, and some of them are. Really, a lot of the paints that I got. You can get a bottle like this, ready to spray. Some of them are $10.
Yeah.
They're not, but now some of them are 40. I got one up here that I had made. It's called Pharaoh's Gold, and that's a 4-ounce bottle, and it's right at $50.
Yeah.
But it's a special paint, and nobody's got it that I know of, and I do a certain lure with that, and it's just a crazy cool color.
I've seen that lure earlier.
It's just it's kind of like what I said. When you get obsessed, you do crazy stuff, and spending money is one of them. It's a black hole, guys. I'm gonna tell you, it's kind of funny.
Big.
I've watched the podcast, and I've seen Legacy and all of them on here, and I know that they're doing plastics, and now they're wanting to come into our world. And I'll be honest with you, I wouldn't. I just want to paint. I couldn't see going into another black hole. I'm already broke with this stuff. I would, if I had to guess how much I've got invested over the years in my stuff, it would be 25,000 or more. And that's probably not tipping at all. I'm probably forgetting stuff.
You're being conservative, I'm sure.
Yeah, and I've been very fortunate that I've worked with some companies that let me do prototype stencils, and they send them to me, and I don't pay for that. Yeah. I've been really blessed in this community with people. They've been very good to me, and I really, like I said, it couldn't be any better. I don't regret any of it what I've done with them.
Well, and it's because you're good to them as well. You a lot of times you get what you give. You know what I mean?
I think that's my whole deal with it all anyway. And I was going to say that later, but we'll go ahead and talk about that now. If we don't support these people in the community that are selling stuff, and I'm just going to use a few examples. Dan at Crank Custom sells a great stand. Hunter Stroud sells a great hooking tray. CJ's Custom sells a paint and lure tray. Gillis sells eyes. Walleye Guy sells eyes that are out of this world. And I don't go, I'll be honest with you. I've spent more money in the last 3 weeks when I've been on TikTok than I have in a while because I don't go outside. I just stay in the community. Yeah. And it's kind of like a local business. If you don't support it, then they're not going to make it. And you got to help them. I mean, I mean, you may pay a little bit more, but I mean, you got to understand they're not producing, volumes of stuff. I mean, it's like a custom painted lure. Don't really, and I know this is going to ruffle some feathers, and I'm sorry if it does, but I can't see selling any custom bait for less than $20. And you can take that for whatever way you want to. You're selling yourself short. You're hurting the community, and you're not doing yourself justice. That's why I tell you, don't sell until you know how all this stuff operates, and get your worth. Get your worth out of this deal.
Yeah.
I mean, I did it way back. I'm selling $8, $10, $12. I'm telling you, all you're doing is you're not only hurting yourself, you're hurting the community. And I hate to say it that way, but that is my opinion, and I just don't do it. Yeah. I mean, if me selling my baits at $25 a piece, and most of them are going to go for more than that, if it's not for them, it's not for them. It's okay. I'm not going to get my feelings hurt, but I know what I got tied up in it, and I know what experience I got tied up in my baits, and there's nothing that Strike King or any of them are doing, they're putting out that are going to be better than what I'm painting. I'm just being honest. And not with everything that David and Rosalie are doing on top of it.
Yeah.
I mean, I would do them an injustice if I sold one of them baits for $10.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm just being honest, and I hope I haven't ruffled no feathers, but it's time for the painting community to stand up and get your worth, and then maybe we'd have more painters doing it full time instead of barely getting by, and hell, I can go broke sitting at home.
Yeah.
I don't have to even paint at all. I'll just sit on my fat behind and go broke.
Yeah.
I mean, don't do it. You don't have to do that. Because in the back of your mind, you're going, I want to sell that bait, but then you're going, well, they're going to get mad. I'm going to sell it for 12. That's not how I operate. I just don't do it.
Yeah. Well, there's a lot of agreement down in the chat. One of the first comments I seen was John Ward saying amen. John Ward is an amazing painter. He's a great painter. He puts out a stellar product. Yep. And you've got a lot of other guys down in here, Dark Side, or Swamp Rooster as we know him as. You got BFE down there, you got Tark, you got Baby, and they're all just, exactly and yes. And
well, I mean, all I'm saying is, we put too much time in them. I mean, I can paint fast. I think I can paint as fast as anybody on this channel right now. I really do. I think I could turn the baits out, but I'm still not going to sell my baits cheap because of that. I'm just not. That's because I've learned this trade, this game, and I know how to do it. And I just think we sell ourselves terribly short. I've jumped in a lot of auctions, and I watch them, and I'm going, to myself that I'm going, guys, you're worth way more than that.
Yeah. Yeah.
You are. You're selling yourself short. And I hate that because, some people count on it. And I'm going, but you gotta take that step and say, this is what it's going to be. I tell, it's kind of funny. Every now and then I'll get somebody and they'll try to Jew me down. I tell them, I'm not selling a used car here. I mean, I'm not. I mean, I'm selling something that I've poured my life into. Yeah. And I'm just, it is what it is. That's the price. And
well, I think your love for this whole bait making community kind of shows through, from your painting to the information you're trying to pour out there, that, know your worth and get good at it before you go to selling. And none of them should start probably less than 20. And I've heard it before, and we'll all hear it again. Well, I can go up to the store and I can get one for $12. Yes, you can, but that's not a custom painted lure.
It's not a custom painted lure. That's exactly right. It's stamped in a factory in Venezuela. I mean, It's not even American made. I mean, that's what I'm saying. If you
Yep.
don't support the community, then why are you even in it?
It's worth a 6-piece nugget and a double cheeseburger. You're not wrong. You go to McDonald's, that stuff's expensive anymore.
I'm just saying. I just think that it's something that needs to be talked about because it's like people are walking on eggshells about it. I'm gonna be honest with you. I don't want to hurt anybody's feelings in here. That's not my intention.
Right.
But like I said, there's a difference between being passionate and being obsessed, and I'm obsessed with it, and I want to see you get the most that you can get for what you're doing because I understand. I do. I understand what you have to do all this, and it's a big process. It's not something that's in a sweatshop getting stamped out and thrown in a package and $8.99. I mean, you can call it what it is. You can call it chicken soup. I mean, but it's not the same.
And when he's referring to this, we're not just talking about the airbrush custom baits either. There's a lot of other guys out there doing the tying and the plastics and things like that. And it doesn't matter how you look at it. These things are custom. It takes our time to do it. And if we tried to include our time, it would be way more than 20 at a start for a bait. There's some of these guys, they are not quick at painting, but they are still putting their time and money into it. And when you stop and think about everything that goes on one single lure, there is no way these things should be going for $8. And you keep saying, I hope I'm not ruffling any feathers. I don't know that you're ruffling feathers as much as opening eyes. And people are in the chat. They're saying it. They're saying
I hope so, because I just think I'll see certain things, and I'm not going to drop names on this, but they'll be breaking it down what something cost, and I'm going, that's just the beginning. That doesn't cost all the time in the shop, all the time that you've went out there and sweated to learn that technique or whatever the case may be. It ain't touching that. And I mean, I just, like I said, I'm very obsessed with this, and I just want to see you get your worth. I'm gonna, like I said, I'm trying to get mine too. I ain't gonna lie. I mean, when I do my drops, it is what it is, and I'm gonna tell you this: I'll drop at 9 a.m. and they're gone by 12, and I'm done. I'm moving to the next. And all I'm saying is, if an old idiot can do it, you can do it. I'm not the smartest guy in the world either. I'm just a guy. I tell people this all the time. I'm not, and it's flattering, and I appreciate y'all because I wouldn't be who I am without y'all. I'm just gonna tell you that. But I'm just a guy. I mean, I work, go home. I'm probably the boringest person in this whole chat. I work, I fish, and I go home. I got a beautiful wife, and my kids are gone, and I love to paint, and that's it.
That's where I'm at, brother. That's all I do. I paint, I fish, and I work, and I hang out with the family, and that's really it. And it makes me happy to sit here and talk with you guys. It makes me happy to paint. We cut it up. My goodness, some of these lives you get into, they are just hilarious.
I mean, I will tell you, I get to, I'm a pretty serious guy. I work in corporate America, but when I get in these lives, what little bit of hair I got left, I'm just glad it's turning gray and ain't turning loose. But I get to let it down, and I get to have some fun. I get to laugh a little bit, and I get to learn. Like I said, that I could read a list of names. I got them wrote down because I didn't want to forget somebody. And I think it's important to say their name. But that group that I hang in there with that have actually accepted me in, Dan, Stroud, Gillis, Wheels, Lauren, Brasher, Swamp, Tim, Walleye Guy, Holly, Northwaters, David, Pretty Lures, Cody, Rainbow, Muddy. The list goes on and on. Corey. I mean, y'all don't know how much y'all have changed my life.
Good. I'm glad to hear that. I am glad to hear that.
It really has. I've shared it with Dan, and it's been tough. I mean, it's been nice to be able to come in and laugh just a little bit. instead of just, I don't, my circle's very small outside of, I'm not talking about y'all. I'm talking about my work life.
Yeah.
I do work around people. I'm a district manager for a retail company, but I mean, those are acquaintances. They're not I don't have a lot of friends. And I mean, when I get to come home and jump in with these guys and people and get to talk to them, it just,
Yeah.
man, they don't realize how much good they're doing me. I'm going to be honest with you.
Well, and I think that works both ways. I don't know if you realize how much good you're doing for them as well. Um, I've enjoyed ever since you got on here, and I enjoy hanging out in your lives and listening to you and Dan. My goodness.
Well, like I
Stroud's
said,
has always been since Stroud's got on here, I got him on the podcast, and he really broke out of his shell after that. And he's getting around through the circles and getting to know everybody, and an amazing painter in himself, as well as Crank Customs is. And there's just, like you said, you start to go into names, and you could shout them out for days. And I'll be honest with you, this is exactly what it's for. And if you feel like you're missing somebody, you make sure and shout them out, because this is your time to do it.
There is a few Pops Customs, and I'm going to share some stuff
Great.
in the giveaway. I mean, he actually wrote me this letter, and I hope he doesn't get upset that I read some of this.
All right.
Because it's kind of, it really was kind of really nice, and I'm going to hang on to this. He said, I've watched your videos for some time, and I can honestly say that you've had a huge influence, not just on my painting, but on countless lure painters.
Yeah.
You have never been afraid to share your techniques, explain why something works, or encourage people to keep pushing themselves to improve. That willingness to teach has made this community better. And then he went on to say, and this is kind of funny because I ragged these guys hard about this. He says, one thing that puzzles me, though, you seem like a man with good judgment right up until football season. I guess even the lure painters can make questionable choices. Maybe one day you'll see the light and trade that Georgia red for Tennessee orange. But I mean, that stuff right there is what keeps me going. That makes me want to do more videos, because to be honest with you, when I came over here, I really didn't know how many, I've got 8,000 subscribers, and I'm going to share this because this is crazy. Before I came on TikTok, I was getting about 10 to 12,000 views a day.
Oh.
It went after I came into TikTok, it went to 50,000.
Nice.
And that's crazy.
That's amazing.
But that just goes to show you, when the community gets behind you, and all I'm trying to do is make. I'm like I said, I'm just a boring old man trying to make a difference, and it's just fun. I mean, like I said, I've met so many good people over here. It was the best thing I ever did, and just making a few changes. And I'm not talking about even those changes, those people I'm still friends with, and I think the world of them. I do. I that's not going to change. I mean, I've had long relationships with a lot of people, and I just want to get along with everybody.
Yeah.
And I know that there's going to be certain people that don't care for me, and that's okay. I mean, I'm good with that too, But if I have the choice and I can make a difference, then I'm going to make the difference. That's the choice I'm going to make.
Yeah, I agree with you. I don't usually do this. I'm going to do a little bit of a shout out here, because we have a great community. I have a great list of people coming up. The very next guest on here is going to be Mold Man from Georgia Lure Company. And then you just sat and read a letter that Pops Custom Workshop, sent to you. And Pops is going to be on here 9/8. So we're going to have Pops in here. Make sure you guys get in here and check that out. As well as Cranked Customs. You've mentioned his name many, many times, known as Dan or Cranked Customs. He's going to be in here on 9/15. So lots of great people coming up. So I thought maybe you'd want to know that we are going to have Cranked on here. We are
Well,
going to have
yeah.
Pops on
Well,
here.
and like I said, I've really enjoyed watching everybody. I've only seen a few, but like
Yeah.
I said, the ones that I've watched have actually been excellent. It's been fun to watch. It's getting to know somebody else, and a lot of those people I've kind of interacted with that I would have probably never met in my life if I wouldn't have came over here.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I mean, it's just like I said, it's just you got a lot of special guys. I mean, we talk about them a lot. Hunter. I've really gotten fond of Hunter. I think Hunter is going to be something serious in this, and I'm going to shout somebody else out. And this is like I said, and it's Holly. I've watched Holly paint, and I'm just going to be honest with you. Holly's going to be the you know what, and I've watched her paint, and I see things in her that are going to be crazy fun and cool down the road for her. She is gonna and the way she airbrushes with her thumb, that's even crazier.
Yep.
And this she's a very approachable person, and she's going to be another one that's going to change the painting community.
Yeah. So you say you've missed some of them. So Holly, I believe I was one of the first couple people to talk to Holly. She just showed up one day and just kind of started talking, and I talked with her, and she has a very natural ability, and she came along very quickly, and her baits they're phenomenal. They're good, and
They
they're only going to
actually
get
are.
better.
I mean, she's got an eye for detail that I like. That's what I like to do. I just see her. And well, Stroud's the same way, and so is Dan.
Yes.
I mean, I watch
Yes.
them a lot, and I just like I said, there's no telling where they'll go. And I mean, I'm just going to use Dan as an example. I'm looking at where Dan is, and Dan has got a great personality. And if you haven't been to one of Dan's auctions at
Yep.
3 o'clock on Saturday, you need to go and just support Dan. Dan just interacts. I mean, it is just crazy fun to watch Dan, and how personable he is. Him and Heather. Heather is constantly involved with him. That's even better. They're a team, and I'm gonna tell you something. I am just tickled to death. I've got to know them. And like I said, Hunter, he's young. He's going to be something serious.
Yeah.
I see a lot of when I at where he's at, where I was at one time. And I'm surely gonna spend some time with him, talking with him, and just kind of just trying to help him the best I can, because he's gonna be something serious.
Yeah, yeah. So a lot of these people have been on here. Stroud's has been on here. Holly's been on here. Northwater, Sims, Swamp Rooster, Bubba's Custom Lures, TRS Tackle. That's just a few. If you guys want to see all the previous episodes, I always post them over on the YouTube page, and that's The Pondcast 2025, all one word. You can watch all the previous episodes. After Frank's gets up there, there will be 36 different episodes over there. So all these painters that he's mentioned, some that I've mentioned, they're all over there. And some of them are coming up, so make sure you're paying attention.
And don't get me wrong, there's a ton of other ones in there. Like I said, I've just gotten to know. I've known Lauren for a while. Lauren's a great painter, and I've watched Brasher, Swamp, Tim, Wall. These guys are not playing, and it's fun. I mean, it's really. I'm a real competitive guy. I can't do contests anymore. I really can't, because I'll just go off the rails. But I watch them, and I just watch them paint the stuff that they're turning out. I mean, it's crazy. Some of them I've got to know a little bit better. I've got to know Barry pretty good, and I had a conversation with him, and I just like Barry. He's a great guy. I know Barry won the contest about a year ago. But these guys got so much talent, and like I said, Lauren doesn't get the credit he deserves. I'm gonna tell you that now. I've watched a lot of painters in my day. And Lauren is phenomenal. I mean, Muddy is I don't know. I'm just starting to know some of these guys and watching them paint. Gillis is another one. I mean, the talent these guys got is, like I said, it's not the same it was 10 years ago. You're dealing with a different level of people,
Yeah.
and it's speeding up, and these guys are really going. Wheels. And there's something else I want to say. When we're jumping in these lives, please don't. And I hate to say it like this, but I got to say it the way I feel. Don't get intimidated. Come on in and paint. It doesn't matter. There's always going to be people of all levels around that are painters. And I mean, just get in there and have fun. That's how you're going to learn. I wish that I would have had this 12 years ago. I mean, there's no telling what I really could have done. There's too many good people not to pick their brain and figure out where they're at.
The only thing you're going to get when you jump into lives and start painting with a lot of these great painters is help. If you're struggling with something, they're going to help you out. Mr. Frank right here, Clark's Hill Customs, he's on the lives with us. You want to jump in, you want to paint with him, you want to hang out with him, by all means, come over to his page on TikTok, and he's live quite often. And if you're just hanging out in the chat because you're not a painter, that's fine too. Maybe you'll find an interest in it. But about the only thing you're going to get is help.
And I know there's people. I mean, there's a bunch that I'm forgetting. Painter. I mean, probably one of the best. Like I said, Muddy. I mean, he's putting out some crazy cool stuff, and I mean, it's just they're just a lot of fun. I mean, they're making the community fun again. And I got to share this with David. I don't know if David's still on or not, but when they do the Friday Night Live and they pick the 3 colors, a colorblind guy's not going to fare too well in that when his wife's in the house. So that's why I don't do that a lot.
You introduced me to I want to say his name is John Wampler.
Jonathan Wampler.
Yeah.
Yep.
I've been looking at some of his stuff. He's a good painter. And I think what makes his name stand out to me is you and we'll just say the usuals. I can't remember who all was in there, but you started calling him out to paint the pumpkin seed with Strouds. And I'm telling you now, if you want a challenge, go paint that pumpkin seed with Strouds. He's good at that one.
Well, I'm going to tell you, Jonathan, like I said, Jonathan's a lot younger than I am, and I've kind of mentored Jonathan over the years. We've talked usually at least once a month for the past 10 years. And he's just a heck of a guy. He's a very talented guy, and he will share just like I do with anybody in here. And, I was really just cutting up with Stroud. I love picking on Hunter and Dan. That's my favorite thing. I love that more than painting, I think. But Jonathan is just a solid guy. I mean, he's going to help anybody.
Yeah.
And I mean, I see those guys. They're the future of this, and we got to support them.
And I think you're trying to break down the cycle of the secrets and get everybody just to let those out. I mean, nobody's going to paint that bait exactly how you do.
Well, I'm going to tell you this, and I hate to say this, but you ain't got no secret that I can't figure out. I'm just going to be honest with you, and I'm talking to you. Hey, Dan, if you're here, what's the lady that won't share the top coat? I'll figure that out too. So I ain't worried about that. I love her too. She paints some great stuff. What is her name though? I saw her in the chat a little while ago. She's from South Carolina. She paints swim baits. She was on your show.
Yep.
And she wouldn't reveal the top coat.
Yep.
Little River
Lure Lady.
Little River, I'm going to order one of your baits, and I'll tell you what that top coat is, and I'll bet the farm on it. How about that?
Well, and I think as far as her top coat is concerned, and the reason she held that like she did is somebody that showed her. So you can't really fault her.
I'm picking on her. She came in alive with us. And
okay.
Oh
gotcha.
Yeah. Oh yeah. I'm poking the bear right now. She does some of the best work I've seen. I'm just playing. I mean, I really am.
She's an amazing painter, and yeah, you can go back and watch her on the YouTube page as well.
Oh,
And
she does some great stuff. I mean, the talent is off the charts.
I'll tell you, I've had no less than probably 5 or 10 people that have been on the show who are already saying there needs to be a second round for us. We didn't get to talk about enough, or I got more to say. I'm not going to rule that out. There may come a time when we come back around to everybody. There's so many painters out there.
I think you need to do it. I think that I'm sure when we get off here tonight, I'm going to go lay down and I'm going to go, you know what? I didn't say that.
I should have talked about this more.
And I think that, you know, the responsibility to the community as for our custom painters to use the platform.
Yeah.
And Corey's providing it. So don't be scared to come on here and talk. You're just talking to the painters. That's it.
Yeah.
I mean, half these people, I'm sure I don't even know.
And don't be afraid to message me. I try to get around to everybody. I have more than 2 pages of painters, and I just start picking names and I go through there. There are some that I personally want to get on here and I want to interview, but you guys feel free to send me a message. If this is something you would like to do and you'd like to be on the podcast, send me a message and we'll get something worked out. But
because I'll be honest with you, since I started watching this a couple of weeks ago, this is one of the best things that I've seen in years. It really, you're doing a great job. Whoever's paying, I'm gonna tell Pretty Lures to give you a raise. But you know, but in all fun, it gives a platform for us that we've never had. And you know, I was watching Tiny's last night and how much I enjoyed that. I didn't know who that guy was. I'd never seen his work. And it was really interesting to kind of to get to know everybody, new people, know what they do, just see their work. And you know, I just think it's fantastic.
Yeah. I can't say enough about Outdoors with Tiny. I'm glad you brought up his name. He has his Real Talk with Tiny. He does it twice a month. Thank you. You got to watch for his posts to see what days he's going to do it. He has a very busy schedule and it changes. Yep. But go follow Outdoors with Tiny, Real Talk with Tiny. He talks the fishing side.
Yep.
And I talk the bait making side. And me and him met by chance. He was getting ready to start up his. Mine started just a few days before his. And he decided to reach out to me and we started talking. And like you said, some of these people you've never met. I've actually gotten to meet Tiny at the Columbus show, and I couldn't spend enough time with him. I bet we only spent 45 minutes talking, and I could have talked to that man for another 6-7 hours.
Yep.
What a great guy. We say it all the time now. His podcast complements mine.
Yep.
He just had a guest on there, GTK Customs. GTK will be on the podcast soon. As a matter of fact, I can tell you what date he's going to be on. He'll be on in 3 weeks, so 8/25.
So what you're saying is I can slide over there to Tiny's and talk about hammer and crappie? Yeah.
100%.
Oh yeah.
He will have you. I will guarantee it.
I love to fish just like I love the crappie fish, and I mean, I'm gonna tell you, me and Stroud are gonna go even if I have to drive to Tennessee to get him, we're gonna go. Yeah. And I'm hooked on crappie fishing like I am painting lures.
He'll talk fishing with you all day. You got BFE down in the chat. BFE was over on Outdoors with Tiny. We've had BFE on here.
Yep.
BFE's a great guy. Makes a lot of custom stuff. Yeah, I can't say enough about Outdoors with Tiny, and we trade guests. I mean, I'll get a hold of him right after we're done. I'll be like, you need to book him right now.
Well, I mean, like I said, this fishing community, paint lure community, it's just a great thing to have. But like I said, it's only going to be as good as we take care of it.
That's right. You got to take care of it. You are correct. But yeah, Outdoors with Tiny, Real Talk with Tiny. Get over there and check that out. You'll see Frank on there here shortly.
Yeah,
he's going to be talking crappie fishing.
That's right. Let's talk some crappie fishing. I'm all about that.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Oh,
Let's give you guys another code, another letter to the code. This is going to be the last letter of the night, and the letter is F. The letter F. That will be the last letter for that.
And it ain't crappie, it's crappy. Let's get it straight.
I have
uh,
I have some funny stories about that actually, but I'll save that for a live. Right now, it's all about Mr. Frank.
oh Lord.
So do you only, let's say when you are fishing, are you fishing freshwater, saltwater? Do you make lures for both? And what do you fish mainly?
I don't do any saltwater fishing. I live 15 minutes from Clarks Hill. I live an hour from Lake Murray. I live an hour and a half from Santee Cooper. I live probably maybe 2 hours from Lanier and Hartwell. I mean, I'm a well, I bought the boat 2 years ago and I got live scope. So I had a buddy at my church show me how to use the thing, and I started crappie fishing, and, or, or y'all call crappie. But I got hooked on it. But I love to bass fish. I fish my baits. But I mean, I've really in the last 2 years, I mean, I have gotten double hooked on crappie fishing.
Yeah.
I mean, I can go on my lake in the evening an hour and a half and catch 30 and be off the water.
And you're fishing for the pan, correct? You keep all those.
No,
No.
I'm gonna tell you
You're-
what I don't keep any in the summer. It's just me and my wife. My wife ain't too big. I like if I'm gonna eat fish, I want crappie. I don't want anything else. But I usually just keep them, take pictures, and put them back. If I want to eat a few, I'll keep a couple. I'm gonna teach Stroud how to catch some slabs because he don't know nothing about that. I got to teach that young buck. I'm gonna drag him is what I'm gonna do. For the first couple times, I'm gonna kill him. Yeah, it ain't even gonna be funny. I'm putting him in the back of the red and black boat, the Georgia colors, like you saw last night. Yeah, he's gonna find out what it's all about. Yeah, he's gonna find out.
I missed the boat last night.
I'm gonna have to send you a picture. Me and Stroud were texting crappy pictures.
Oh yeah, I gotta see the boat.
Yeah, I'll send you a pic of it. I mean, I bought. Is it too much? Yeah, but who cares? I ain't
That's
leaving. I'm not
perfect.
leaving my money to my kids. I'm gonna spend it up.
Spend every dime.
Every
I'm gonna
dime.
slide into that dirt broke.
But I am just, yeah, I am just. Well, I mean, it's I didn't. I know a lot of the guys didn't know that I fished like that because I didn't know Cody made crappie jigs till I saw Stroud's box. So I'll deal with him. I mean, I deal with Keith Tate. He owns Black Sheep Jig Company,
Okay.
and he's over here by me, and I love his stuff. But I'm gonna get some stuff from Cody too.
Yeah.
And maybe do some swaps with him or something. But yeah, I mean, this is really going to turn out to be a big deal for me. I'm going to meet some people, and we're going to fish, and we're going to have some fun.
Well, you got 007 Jigs down there. That is the first guest I've ever had that gave me crap about bass fishing. That's all he does is crappie fish. I think he throws a bass in once in a while, but he's an excellent crappie jig tire as well. And I remember he was on this live, and that's the first thing he did was give me a hard time about being a bass fisherman and not fishing for the crappie.
Yeah, it's addictive, man. I mean, you'll dream about that live scope at night for them crappie. I mean, it's crazy.
I'd like to have live scope someday. We've been talking about it, but it is an expense if you're going to get into live scope. Now, the only thing that's really helping is they've come out with a second, newer version. So it's going to drop the old version to a little bit cheaper, but the newer version doesn't require the black box.
Doesn't require the black box. I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to buy me the new one and put it on my troll. I've got a turret on mine for my crappie. Because I've got spot lock. I've got an Ultrex, but you can't spot lock and shoot the live scope. So I've got it on a turret so I can shoot my brush piles and it works out good. But I do need one on the trolling motor. So after I limit out crappie and with Stroud, I'm gonna go teach him how to bass fish too.
Dang!
I'm gonna get my money's worth. If I got to go teach him.
Hey, I just got to get in here and say, you can teach me to bass fish. I'll come down there and let you
We'll
teach
go,
me.
man. I'm telling you, I don't. I go by myself most of the time. Anytime I can get somebody to go, I'm ready to go.
I fished by myself for years. I've probably fished since I was 8 years old, and I've always went by myself. And probably in the past 10 years, I finally got somebody who loves to fish as much as I do and can put up with me on the boat constantly, and I can put up with him. So Dan is the guy I go fishing with all the time, and he is down to bass fish. All I got to do is send him a text message, and he's a third shifter, and that boy will get up out of bed and
Oh my
go
God.
bass fishing, then go back home and go to bed.
I tell you what
So
I'll even do if I go fishing with Stroud. If I go fishing with Stroud and he beats me, I'll put a Tennessee shirt on. So that ain't never gonna happen.
woo, that's saying something right there,
That ain't
people.
never gonna happen.
We need it all on live.
Uh, that's right. We got and it's gonna be on. It's gonna be on tape too. So we got that. Now he's asking me what size shirt I wear. You ain't got to worry about that because it'll have a big G on it.
Couple more questions, then we're going to let the chat ask you some questions after we do some giveaways. We'll get to those giveaways here in just a minute. I want to back up. I want to ask you one important question, and that is, what is one of your favorite colors to do on your favorite lure? So what would be your favorite lure and what color?
I like any. I like crankbaits. I like the square bill. I even set this one out. This is my favorite pattern. This lure is actually going to Lauren. I just hadn't sent it yet, but it's black and yellow. It's called a wasp, and I put custom claws on it for him.
There you
So
go.
black and yellow is by far my favorite. I just like that. I catch most of my fish on that, but I will tell you a wild card, and I got it right here. It's called Wild Cherry. Wild Cherry.
Uh-oh. I lost things on my end so far. Everybody else hearing him okay? Or is it just me? He's froze. That's what I thought. We'll give him a minute and see if he can get back in. There he is. We had you frozen up for a minute. Last thing we seen was your
Yeah, I
wild
think it was
cherry.
you. I was okay. Yeah, those are my for bass fishing at Clark's Hill. Those are my two favorites. I like the black and yellow, and for some odd reason, that wild cherry I catch a lot of fish on, so I started fishing it. So
Okay.
those are my two go to for bass. Now
Gotcha.
crappie is a different story. I ain't gonna tell you what crappie when I'm using because I got a fish trout, so I don't want him having a heads up on that. So we'll hold that.
He just needs your shirt size, they said down there,
Oh Lord,
huh?
he don't want Stroud don't want this smoke.
Another question I got written down for you is there a piece of advice you would like to share with new painters, or maybe just a piece of life advice that was given to you that you still remember today?
I think I kind of already shared this. If you're just starting out, don't put the pressure on selling right away. Learn how to do the hobby and the trade, and learn to do it well. I mean, I guess the temptation to go earn money doing it is very, it's tempting.
Yeah.
But if I gave you good advice, I would say learn the trade, learn the top coats, learn what the paints do, and put out the best thing you can put out. Then you're going to bring, like what we said, the not the $10 and $12, but the 20 and above that a custom painter deserves.
Yeah. Okay. I think that kind of answers the tips and tricks for anybody wanting to get into painting. I think you can get into painting for a medium cost. If you get a hold of somebody like Pretty Lure, they can set you up with a complete package. They have beginners package. They have, and you'll have to forgive me. It's like intermediate and expert, will say, to where you can get everything you might need, from the air compressor, the air hose and airbrush, some paints, along with blanks. You can get it all in one little package, and that'll get you started. So
And use the discount code.
use the discount code.
10, you get 10% off of that. So it all helps. I mean, they're offering it, so take advantage of it.
Make sure you let them know who sent you over there. Mr. Frank and Uncle Corey from the podcast sent you over there. I say we get to some giveaways, and then we let the chat ask you some questions, because I know you're looking forward to that. I know I'm looking forward to it.
Let me grab some of this stuff.
Yep, you grab some of that stuff. Everybody knows how we do it. We do a Pretty Lures giveaway. You have to be able to give me the letters to the code that I gave to you throughout the podcast. We go right up here to the upper right-hand corner, and random numbers have already been chosen. And let me get those written down so that I can show them to you, which never really works out for me, but I do my best. So the first number, and then this is the number that Frank gave me for his. So we're going to do the Pretty Lures giveaway first. That is a $25 gift code to Pretty Lures. If you're a bait maker, you can go over there and get anything for your bait making needs. If you are a fisherman, you can go over there, and Barrett Baits is going to make you a custom lure. So the number they had already chosen is number 23. Number 23. So I'm going to click on the numbers up here. I'm going to go down, and I'm going to find number 23, which happens to be Rainbow Custom Lures. He was on the podcast just last week. If you can give me that code, you are the lucky winner. I'm going to assume he can give me that code. Rigged. Here it comes. It's always rigged. MLF. We'll write his name down, although I really don't need to. So the reason I gave the code MLF is the Major League Fishing Tour was here on Lake Erie this past weekend. I actually got to watch them fish. I could see some of them from the shore. I did not actually go down and try and meet any of them, as they were all over the Western Basin, which means they were all the way over toward Michigan. Some of them took a two-hour ride to get to where they wanted to fish, and I wasn't going to hang out at the docks all day long just to see the, couple of the guys come in. But what a great show. I think first place on day 2 had 198 pounds of fish in his boat already. If you don't know what MLF style is, they weigh every fish over 2 pounds throughout 3 periods. And each period, I believe, is 3 hours. You can correct me if I'm wrong on that, but that is a boatload of fish in 2 days. Anyway, Rainbolt is the winner. Congratulations, Rainbolt. We're going to let Mr. Frank take it away. His giveaway is next.
All right, so I'm going to go over everything I'm going to give away first. The first thing is from Pop's Custom Workshop. He does woodworking, engraving, fishing lures, and game calls. He did a hat for me, a Clark Hill Customs black hat. We're going to give that away. I'm going to give away a Clark Hill Customs t-shirt. I'm going to give 3 custom PL strikers of your choice.
Yes.
Of your choice. And then from CJ's Custom Stencils, I'm going to give 1 stencil for the claws for the bill, and then I'm going to give the one that nobody's got. I'm going to give 1 pont and crawl away that nobody has. Nobody. Those are only made for me, and we're going to give that away. You can either, what I'll do is whoever wins, I tell you what I'll do. If you want me to paint the lures for you, I'll do that. I'll let you look at all 75. We'll do a live, and I'll take the camera over them. You can pick any 3 that you want, or I will paint whatever you want. It doesn't matter to me. And since it's a Pretty Lures deal, we're gonna do 3 strikers. So
Very nice. What a giveaway. And I just want you all to know I'm not even available. I can't even be in this. So we've already talked with Frank before the podcast even started. He chose what number he would like. So I'm going to show you this number, and then I'm going to jump over real quick and see who the winner is. And the number he chose is number 1. So number 1 is Sim Tails and Tackle. Sim, you are the winner of that lucky giveaway from Mr. Frank of Clark's Hills Custom.
So all you got to do, Sim, is just get with me tomorrow when we get on the live at 6. Just get with me, get me your information, and I'll let you look at the baits, or I'll paint you whatever you want, and I'll get it out to you. I'll even paint them on the live tomorrow night if that's what you want.
My goodness, Sim, you lucky dog. Lucky, lucky, lucky. What a great giveaway. I appreciate that, buddy. You didn't have to throw all that in there, but you did.
I'm going to tell you something. Like I said, I wouldn't be where I'm at in this without these people. And, you know,
Same here.
you gotta pay forward. You really do. And like I said, I'm just tickled to be a part of this.
Yeah. Okay. Sorry, I had a note I had to read. Let me check something really quick here. If one of my moderators could take a look, someone's been silenced in the chat that shouldn't have been. Bear is silenced in the chat. If you can go ahead, take a look at who's been silenced and make sure he gets undone to where he can comment, I would greatly appreciate it. May have just been by mistake. Everybody knows Bear. Bear's a great painter. All right, what a giveaway. And I agree with you. None of us would be where we're at without the support of the community. I wouldn't be able to do this show that I do every week if it wasn't for the support of the community, all these painters. I know when I first started, it was a little rough. I would ask people, and sometimes I wouldn't get a response at all. And you can't really be mad at that. I wasn't super known. And something like this, I don't think had been done before. And maybe it was a simple misunderstanding about what's going on. And one thing I try and do to this day is I don't just, for lack of better words, cold call somebody, right? I go in, I join their lives, I like their posts, I talk to them, I send messages, and then I might ask them to be on here. And I've had my fair share of no's. And if you're, once again, I've said it before, is as you miss 100% of the shots you don't take. So
Exactly.
Make sure you're taking those shots, because you never know when you're gonna land a 3-pointer, right? All right, Bear, you should be good. Sorry about that, buddy. Next, we are gonna take questions from the chat. Are you ready for that? You need a break?
No, I'm good. I'm ready. Let's go.
I'm ready to go. I got my Sonic soda.
That's
I'm
right.
ready.
Yep. See, what they don't know is I got my Kool-Aid in it. It really ain't the soda. I get Kool-Aid from the house. I like the styrofoam cup.
It keeps everything so much colder.
Right. That's right.
I think a lot of people like that little crushed ice that Sonic puts in.
That's what I got. I got the little crushed ice machine from Amazon. I fill it to the top, and that's what I do.
I tell you what, I still got to get my wife one of those. She loves that kind of crushed ice too, but I'm not sure we can fit another mechanism on our countertops. We got coffee machines and espresso machines, and
you won't go wrong. You won't go wrong.
Got all that stuff on there.
I do, Lanier Lures. I know where that is.
There you go. A scale, 1 to 10, LSU or OSU?
Uh,
Legacy
I got to
Lures.
go LSU. I'm sorry.
Skeeter says, what's your favorite texture stencil to use?
I like the modeling stencil. I use that. Oh my gosh, that's probably my go-to. I think that puts more lifelike into a bait if you use it right.
And Guthy says, what vise are you using on your videos?
The vise that I always use is this one right here, and I've had it for 12 years. $15 Amazon. It's just a large fly tying vise. I learned to paint on that, it's my go-to. I can spin it, paint upside down, but that's the way I taught myself.
Yeah. Strouds wants to know most underrated crawl stencil.
Um, the one I don't sell. I mean, it is. I just think
Yeah.
it's the best one out there. I think I'm gonna eventually just tell them to go ahead and cut it loose. Because, like I said, to be honest with you, it was kind of, a lot of people don't know this, but that's how I met Corey and Josh. They just sent it to me.
Yeah.
They copied it off I guess one of my videos, and it just worked out so great. I just love it. But yeah, I mean, well, I guess I could go that ultimate crawl. It's very good. I mean, a lot. Well, if you learn how to use it, and it's not what I call blown out, it's a great looking. It does a great job.
Good stuff. By the way, CJ Stencils will be on the podcast. I don't have the date right in front of me. I'm trying to read the chat here, but they will be on the podcast. So make sure you're watching out for that one. Killjoy, what's your favorite hooks and rings to use?
I use Spro Pro only number 3s, and I use Mustad triple grips. That's the only ones I use. I don't want to put a bait out that somebody's got to change one thing on, and they don't.
And then Jigs on Wheels says he would like to know who's your favorite painter. That's usually a question that I ask. I kind of left that up to the chat, so there it is.
You know, I thought about that, and he's the GOAT. His name is TJ Hatfield. A lot of people don't. I mean, TJ 10 years ago was, I mean, light years ahead of people. And I hate to say this, you know, when all the faction stuff was going on, me and him were in separate deals, and I never really got to know him. This is really the first time I've ever been able to kind of say how much I really appreciated his painting style. I was just mesmerized with what he could do with an airbrush, his paint selection, his technique. He was light years ahead of any painter that I've ever seen.
Very good. I'm trying to go back here. That chat moves so fast. Harper, where can I get one of those Frank Craws?
Well, right now they're not selling them. That's just the deal I have with them. At first I kind of wanted to just kind of get my brand going, I guess. Hopefully we'll work something out and start selling it to everybody.
So one thing we have to touch on real quick, and I got to ask, so you don't do auctions, you don't do website. The only place that you can get Frank's lures, and why don't you tell them where they can get them?
All right. Well, right now, the only place that I sell is HaddonOutdoors.com. It is a high-end bait shop at Clarks Hill Lake. Great guys, DJ and Rob. I mean, they have been so good to me. I do drops. I'm doing a drop on 818. Probably, I mean, give or take, depending on, I've got to go through these baits and look at them. It's going to be at least 52, but I'm looking at more like 80 or 90. The drops will start at 9 a.m. They're put them online, and it's first come, first serve. You got to be on there to get them. And like I said, I haven't done a drop in 3 or 4 months, and I'm sharing a humbling experience. When I first got asked to do it. Little story. I buy tackle like I paint it. I can't even get into my tackle compartments of the new boat. It's packed full. And I would go into Haddon's and I just bought lures all the time. I was addicted to it. And the guy saw me that owns it, DJ and Rob, and they were like, "Aren't you that guy on Facebook that does them lures?" I said, "Yeah." He said, "Why don't you bring 12 up here?" And, he left, the owner left, and Rob was still sitting there talking. He said, "Well, you better bring double that." And so I brought 25 the first day, and I think I sold out in 35 minutes.
Jeez.
And then I started bringing 50, and it was, they used to mess with me. I'd walk in, they'd be like, "Here comes the crack dealer," and it got so bad that the locals, I would come in there. Rob would open the shop at 6 a.m. and I work, I get up early, but I'd be at the shop at 6:30 so I could kind of just get with Rob, let him know what colors we had at that time. Now we're actually doing it like a couple of days before. I'm giving him all the colors so they can get it in. It was too much of a train wreck trying to do it all that morning.
Yeah.
But we were selling, 70, 80 baits in 2 hours.
Wow.
It was just, I was just taken back. I'm like, wow. I can't believe they want this stuff like that. And, I think there's 20 in stock right now. I tried to bleed a few in there. I know we got some rock crawlers there. We got some, extraordinaires that I have not showed y'all. That's a different bait too. A square bill.
Yep.
But I think there's maybe 20, 25 there right now that are in stock, in various colors, but the drops usually draw the most attention because, like I said, we do some wild colors and just different designs. And like I said, the striker is going to be new, so I know it's going to be a big deal. I'm getting hit with messages probably 10, 12 a day. When is it? When is it? And I'm posting it on every TikTok I do just about. And so I'm looking forward to it. I don't think they're going to stay in there long. So I'm kind of trying to get my next load from David so I can start planning. So I'm going to try to do a drop every 2 weeks.
Very nice. 007 Jigs says, "What's your favorite crappy bait as far as style?"
I like, it's a beveled head that Keith Tate makes at Black Sheep Customs. I'd have to show it to you. I don't know all the terminology, but I use 1/64th and 1/32nd. It's a beveled purple head, and I use a chartreuse pearl fluke 1.2. That's what I can hammer them year round with that.
There you go. Lanier Lures. What editing software do you use for your YouTube videos?
Absolutely none. I'm gonna tell you, I've got my setup right here over my head. What I'll do is I may stop the video, but then you can just piece it together. I don't do any editing. You see exactly what I do. I thought that was important when I did the video. There's a couple of things behind the videos I'll share real quick that may help with that. I did a faceless channel because I didn't want the focus to be on me. I wanted it to be on the fishing lure. And I don't do any editing. So if I mess up something, you're going to see it because it's in real time. If I stop it when I go into my phone, I can just piece it all together, and that's how I do it. I don't do any editing at all.
Same thing for me when it comes to my YouTube. I don't edit anything. I put this on here just like it is. If we make a mistake and we're cutting up about it, everybody gets to see it from 6:45 until this thing ends. And I think it makes it more raw, more real.
Well, I think that's important because well, hell, like I said, I'm an idiot. I'm not good with cameras and stuff. And my wife is great, but she's doing her thing, and I'm trying to do mine, and I don't want to bother her. So I got to simplify it with me, and that's what I do. Even if I use the camera, I don't do any editing. If I screw it up, you're going to see exactly what I do. And I do in the videos. I may not say anything about it when I'm doing the video, but I know it's happening. And, that's just the way I do it.
Yeah. Country Fishing says, what would I have to do to make you pull out the Micron?
Well, let's put it this way: if Stroud and Dan talk junk, I'm pulling it out because I'm gonna go into drag mode. I turn into a different person when I go into a contest. CJ's and them had that contest, and my wife saw it. She's like, no, that you ain't doing that," because I get way too serious when it comes to that. I mean, I am proud to say I ain't lost a contest yet,
There you go.
and that ain't bragging. I'm proud of that. Well, and I'm gonna tell you a funny story real quick because I know
Yeah.
I've told Dan and them this, but the last contest I was in is when Kerry owned Backwater. Before he sold it to the guy that's got it now, and I'm not sure what his name is. I'm not trying to be disrespectful. I buy from him. He's a nice guy.
Yeah.
But they had Lure Mania 2, and I ended up winning that. And it was bluegill, and I just didn't. I mean, I'm a crawl guy, man. I don't paint bluegills, and I painted one, and I put a little white dot on the ear of the bluegill, and that made everybody so mad. And I'm going, so now I don't care if I paint a shad, a bluegill, I'm putting that white dot on it, and that's why I do it. It reminds me of where I came from, and that's the last one that I won, which was Lure Mania 2. And I even did a video on it, poking the bear. I mean, they went crazy about that, and I just thought it was so funny.
Yeah. Yeah.
And then they had to look at it for a year because they put my lure on Backwater's page. That was part of the deal. The winner got to post their lure for a year, so I was in enemy territory and then won the contest and went back to where I was, and they hated that white ear. They had to look at it every time they went on the page, so it was kind of fun. I mean, we had a lot of fun with that. We really did.
Yes, sir. Next question. I'm not sure. This comes from Cranked Custom Baits.
Oh, God.
Do you use Sullivan base on your toenails also?
I do. All of them. I mean, it ain't going to come off. I mean, why would I use anything else? I mean, I do the fingernails too, you know.
It's so readily available. Why would you switch?
That's why I don't wear gloves. That's why Shawty Poo don't shout me out.
Skeeter's Lures says that Crawl 19 stencil is fire. If you know, you know.
Yep, I've got plenty of those. I mean, what I've done is I got a lot of stencils from CJ's, but I've got multiples. I've got the ones that have the 4 on it, and I have singles. But those are the most ones I got. I have my Crawl. I have Crawl 19. I've just kind of started branching out a little bit with some of the other designs, but I just started out with the Crawls because that's my favorite thing to paint.
Yeah. Jigs on Wheels can't ask my famous question because Frank doesn't have any crappy jigs yet.
I checked the mailbox today. I didn't see any in there.
I don't know. He said he was supposed to send them.
I checked the mailbox today. I didn't get a package.
Mail must be rolling slow. Reds Hill Custom. Red Hills Custom, I've learned a lot from you. Man, keep up the awesome work.
Well, I appreciate that. Like I said, I wouldn't be nothing without y'all's support, and I really appreciate y'all.
My chat jumps on me every once in a while here. Let me scroll back up. Oh, there's been a lot of comments. I see a Lauren comment down in there.
Mine froze. I can't see the chat's just stopped.
Has it?
Yeah, and I've got Wi-Fi and all. I mean, I can see everybody.
There's a lot.
You'll just have to ask me.
My goodness. I'm going to have to go back down to the bottom, folks. If I missed your question, go ahead and type it in again. I'm going to start with Sims. He is the last comment at the bottom. What's your confidence lure for bass?
Like a crankbait or anything?
Just your confidence lure in
Okay,
general.
I like a shaky head. I like a chartreuse pumpkin, and like I said, the crankbaits. I always throw crankbaits year round. I like the black and yellow first. The wild cherry. I just started using that in the last 2 months, and I started catching a lot of fish. So I'm going to that too.
There you go. Paul Tart says,
And I do like the new urchin baits. I got a ton of those.
I gotta try those. I don't have any yet. I would like to get some. I have some of the smaller dice, and it's more of a finessey
I tell you
style.
what I'm going to do. I've got about 50 of them. I'm going to send you a couple when I mail your lures,
Oh,
and I'll let you try them. But you gotta, you're well. I gotta see if I may have to go get you some hooks too, because there's a certain way you got to rig it because it's a detailed thing.
yeah, it's like that saddle weighted hook that they're using on them
Yeah,
now.
the guys here use a Quattro. It's a 4 treble hook.
Okay.
And they just put a 1/32 weight in it, but they kill them, man. These young guys, oh, those Koikis, that's the crap, son. They get it done.
Yeah. Let me jump back up here. It's moving fast. Paul Tart says, learn tons from your videos the last 5 years, and I appreciate all the videos.
Well, I appreciate you, Paul. You do some amazing work. You're very talented.
Uh, what's the one? What's one the back of the shaky head? I don't get that one.
I use a greenfish tackle shaky head. That's because they're based out of Augusta. They're nationwide, but I love that, and it's usually a it's 1/16, 1/32. It's not heavy. I don't believe I fish a lot of shallow water brush piles, and that's how I catch my bass.
Gotcha.
Our lake is really low. It's like 10 feet low.
Legacy Lures, in your opinion, a good cleaner for your spray airbrush?
If I'm using water base, I do. Let's see, where is it at? I dropped it in the floor. Let me pick it up. And this is a cheap fix. I use alcohol and water, hot water, and that's how I clean my water brush for water base. If you're using solvent base, I use acetone.
Yeah.
Nothing fancy with water base, just hot water. And a little bit of alcohol in it, and I clean between every color.
Pig Jigs. Pig Jigs will actually be on the podcast soon, if you didn't know. If you could toss one jig, what's it going to be?
It's gonna be peanut butter and jelly. I like that. Half ounce. I like. I don't know why I have such. I like green pumpkin, but for some crazy reason, when I jig fish, it's peanut butter and jelly. They just love it.
Hey, if you're catching, there's nothing wrong. Jumps again. Skeeter's Lures at Legacy. He uses Summer Blend windshield wiper fluid, which I use that as well. It does clean them out well. But I've also used the alcohol and water.
Well, the thing is, you can go to the dollar store and get a couple things of alcohol. It's very cheap. I don't know how much windshield wiper fluid is, but I mean,
Couple bucks.
you're gonna use a lot of it. I mean, like I said, I clean between every color. I see some that like pour paint on top of other paint. I don't do that. I think that's a recipe for a disaster.
Killjoy, what's the next lure that the frog fingers are going on?
I thought about putting it on everything I do in honor of Dan, but I mean, Dan's already going to be a star anyway. So I got one. Where is it at? Here it is. I did this one and got the famous frog fingers.
The frog
And,
fingers.
and y'all, like I said, we laugh about it like it's a joke, but I am going to tell you this: stuff like that sells lures. I
Yep.
mean, I love to put claws on, and I promise you this: I don't, I don't really care a lot painting about frogs, but I'm going to now because I got that. It just gives another dimension to the lure, and I think it's just going to be a big deal. I think Dan has come up with, like I said, Dan is a smart guy.
Yep.
He cuts up a lot, but yeah, Dan ain't no dummy. I'm just gonna be honest with you. Dan is very smart, and y'all need to hook up and get some of those and support the man.
Stroud says, "How do you feel about frog fingers?"
I mean, I just think
He
it's.
just told you.
I think anything like that in the painting community is a big deal. That's just part of being creative. I mean, that's going to separate him from other people. Yeah, I just think the creativity piece is what's missing in painting. You've got to be really creative now to put out something different.
Pretty Lures says, "How many airbrushes do you have now?"
Oh, geez, I've got 4 HBCHs. I got 4 PS771s. I got a PS290. I got 2 Sotar 2020s. I've got about 14. And yeah,
No.
well, the only two that I don't use are the gallery ones. I just don't care for them. I
Okay.
mean, the Sotars I use for certain things, I use them all. I mean, they're all for different things. So, um, like I said, I got 2 galleries for sale. Just hit me up. I'll sell them to you.
I just lost again. There's a lot of questions coming through. Just be patient with me, guys. Most favorite airbrush. What is your favorite airbrush overall?
Uh, Now I'm gonna give you a detail. They're all used for something different, but I'm gonna have to go with the Krios, the 771. I mean, the workhorse will do the painting, but the detail work that I'm doing is done with this brush, and it's like I said, that's the money brush. I mean, no two ways about it. That's my opinion. It's the money brush.
OG says, "I started last year, and because of you and your help, I've been to 4 showcases. Thank you, sir."
Well, I appreciate that. Like I said, I wouldn't be nothing without y'all.
Living hooked. Clarksville is the land of giants.
Well, don't. I mean, I told you this earlier, and that I'm just a guy. I just, like I said, I just love to paint, and I love to share. I do appreciate that, though.
Clyde Russell, there's no wrong color if it's catching fish. You're right, sir.
Nope.
Pour paint all over the lure for Dan. Rainbow custom.
That's because Dan's spitting it through a straw.
Crank says, "Superb." Let me see. I'm almost caught up. I'm still 18 messages behind here, guys. Jonathan Wampler says, "I appreciate you, Frank. You taught me so much about painting, and I appreciate you, brother."
Well, you're a true friend, Jonathan, and I can't tell you how much I appreciate you.
I must read it. Cranked Custom Baits says, "Get ready. I'm about to come out with the Frank fingers."
Oh Lord, you want that to sell, don't you?
Rainbolt says, "I'll be revisiting Iwata this coming year. Plan to have 4 of them at different grades."
Well, Danny. You won't go wrong with the HPCH. I mean, I I started using them probably 5 or 6 years ago, and I've got four now. Like I said, it's a pounding workhorse for somebody that knows how to use a brush.
Tark says 771 and 289.
Yep. So, well, the 289 is one of the guns I was referring to earlier. That's really reasonable, but it's actually, I think it's, I don't have one, but I bet it's an excellent gun.
Yeah. Rainbolt says it's your fault I started using fine tip guns.
Well, you're a good painter, Danny. I tell you, I said you've earned your stripes.
Killjoy says, do you have a YT blooper reel?
No, but like I said, I don't edit, so you see it like I do it, and I'm sure if you go back on those videos, you'll see a lot more goof ups than you could imagine. Probably, I may not say something during it because like I said, I know what I'm doing though.
Tim says, I have seen Dan's handprints in a cave once. Oh my goodness, these comments. So your comment has just stopped. It's not scrolling through anymore?
I can't. I still see the same one I've seen for like 15 minutes.
Oh.
And his jigs, he says, I can't ask my famous question because Frank doesn't have my crappie jigs yet. And I said, I checked the mail today. I didn't see a package in there.
A lot of times if you're trying to scroll through the chat, you have to actually scroll back to the bottom, but because it'll say new messages down at the bottom, but yours might be stuck. I'm not saying
now it seems like it's caught up, I guess.
There you go.
I've got, oh, it's at Killjoy. It says, likes when he spills something. Yeah.
That's it.
Yeah.
You're caught up now. So if you're scrolling through the chat and you just take your hand off of it and never touch it again, it'll actually stay right there on that message, which is what I do trying to read questions. But as soon as I touch it, it jumps all the way to the bottom and there's 37 messages above that. So I try and catch up.
I see one that Jigs asked. He said, what's your go-to fishing rod? If I'm crappie fishing, I like Catch the Fever, an 8-foot. I've got two of them. They're excellent rods. Bass fishing, I use 6 Sense. That's pretty much my go-to.
Paul Tark says that's when you become an artist, when you can blend in your happy mistakes.
That's right. Well, I mean, I just thought it was important to let them see that it ain't all birthday cake and ice cream on these videos. You're going to mess up.
Yep. That's good that you do that. I mean, yep. It has to be seen that everything doesn't go perfect every time. And as a matter of fact, it hardly ever goes perfect every time.
Well, you're right. But to be honest with you, I don't think there's a time that I paint something that everything's just flawless. I mean, there's going to be little things that you've done that you go, God, I wish I wouldn't have done that, or whatever the case may be, you know.
At the same time, that's what makes it a custom lure. That's what lets people know. And this is if you felt like pointing out the mistake to them, it lets people know that these took time. They aren't just stamped on there.
Yeah, I mean, the thing is, especially if you're using flat stencils and not using like a CJ's where you're actually clamping it on, trying to match both sides up is not, well, if I'm using the things that we made that I pretty much showed everybody,
yes,
you can get very close doing it that way because they're going to be very close on a side. You know, I've done a lot better with that. Those were some of the best things I ever did. And I learned that from the guy at Greenfish Tackle.
Yeah, okay.
That's something I didn't come up with. He showed that to me, and I just kind of just passed it along.
You had mentioned rabbit holes earlier, and I don't think I've made a mistake yet, but I think the mistake is coming with me picking up some tying. I think I found another rabbit hole, but I do have to do a quick shout out. I got a hold of Jay Nell, who does a lot of jig heads for people. He does the pouring and stuff like that, and he does it for Sims and Jigs on Wheels and JM Jigs. Just a bunch of people. I'm sure I'm forgetting hundreds of names, but he really hooked me up with a deal, and I only ordered so many, and he said, you know what, I'm just going to throw some in there so you can check them out. You're just getting started, and what a great guy. So shout out to Jay.
I'm going to be honest with you. I don't know if I ever, well, there was a couple of times that I wanted to try the soft plastics, but I'm going, where in the world am I going to put it? I mean, and then I got back to reality real quick going, no, stick to the painting and let's let that go. Because like I said, it would, I mean, I don't see how they do it. I'm just going to be honest with you. I mean, I see guys that are doing jigs, crankbaits, spinner baits, chatterbait. I mean, you name it, they're doing it, worms. And I'm going, good God, I got barely enough time to paint a fishing lure, much less do all that. They got to be, I mean, highly motivated to do that.
I fish a lot of jigs, and I'm starting out with the same plan we all started out with. I'm just gonna tie them for me.
Oh, dude, I said that too. I said I'm gonna paint a few for a friend.
That's right. So I may be trying that out, but I still paint. I know I haven't been in a lot of stuff, but I'm going to have to get on there and actually paint with you guys. I've been taking such a break. But fishing is what I do, so might as well get out there and use what I painted, right?
Well, that's right. I mean, I'm going to try to go fishing Saturday. I'm not going to paint. I'm going to try to get up, and I'm going to take the boat and just kill a day.
Hey, Skeeter said had to hop over and grab a lure from Haddon's.
Okay. I don't know what colors we had left. I actually went to Haddon's about 2 weeks ago because I wanted to show them the PL Strikers, and they went nuts over them.
Oh, I bet. It's a phenomenal lure. The design, the look.
It's just it's got everything that a lure needs. It's going to catch a fisherman. I know it's going to catch fish, and I just think it's going to be really cool. What kind of boat you running? I got a 2024 Camus CX20 Pro with a 250 on it.
Sim says, if you get painter's block, you could tie some jigs or pour some plastics. Sims does all of them. He ties jigs, he paints and pours plastics.
Well, see, I'm not that talented. I mean, those guys are something serious. I'm not that talented.
Yeah. And then you got Bubba's Custom Baits. He paints, pours plastics. His wife paints. So there's quite a few of them out there that are multi-talented, that's for sure.
Am I painting a purple one? You talking about the rocker? I have. There are purple ones. I've done purple and pearl, purple and light yellow. I love purple. I think purple is a very a good fish catching color. North Waters, you're talented. I know better than that.
Scooter said I got a yellow and black wasp extraordinaire.
Yeah, you got that from Haddon's. There was a few of those there. Yeah, tell North Waters if he's standing by Holly, he's going to get talented.
North Waters is really talented at his jig tying, and Holly ties jigs too.
See, I'm telling you, there's people in this group that are just crazy talented. I'm gonna buy some jigs and stuff from them too.
Oh man, you won't be disappointed. I have some.
Yeah,
I had him make me some current cutters for bass fishing, so I can throw it out in these riverbeds that run through Erie, pushing out through the current and get it straight down to the bottom and pick up some of those fish. So. Great show, go Vols from Pop's Custom Workshop.
Can y'all mute him?
Yeah, don't mute him. Don't mute him.
or tell him I'll take an apology. Go Dogs. Go ahead.
You got to be careful. They're quick on the button in here sometimes.
Yeah, they are. Yeah, they are. That's what I'm counting on.
Is it difficult for you to use multicolor shifts
I
from
think
Killjoy?
I think it would be. I think that that's another thing that you got to master, because you have color shifts that work very well with black. You have some that work with
Thank you.
white. And I mean, I did it. Let's see, where did I put it? Here it is right here. I did this in white and black, and I used a Green Stuff World color shift called Darth Blue. And what it does, it'll make the black look like grape jelly, but it'll make the white look beige. And I call that peanut butter and jelly. And I'm not doing anything special to it. It's just white, black, and one color shift. I think if you're mixing color shifts, you're overkilling it. It doesn't work like that. I just think you ought to. I always pick one color that I'm gonna do, and don't just spray the entire lure with it. If you're doing a crawl, I'll take my fine airbrush and I'll go up the shell. I'll go, around the eyes. I don't do the whole bait. It's an accent type thing. It's kind of like a candy to me. I don't do the whole thing. You want to kind of, to get the full effect of what you're using, you can't just blast it on there.
Sim said, can we see that one again?
Yeah, let me see what did I do with it?
I thought you said it right in front of you.
I thought I did. Oh, here it is. and that's an old Insane Custom stencils. Danny will know what that is. Now the top's just a stencil I found, but the sides are I did those by hand. They call that shadowing. It's not hard to do, but I've got old stencils. I mean, it was kind of funny. Danny kind of inspired me about his Phoenix lure. Even I know what he's doing with that, by the way. I do know Danny, so but it's a great job. It looks great.
Yep. Sim said dibs.
Well, I mean, I don't even know that I'm gonna put that in the drop. I mean, Sim, I'm sending you other stuff. I'll send you that one too.
There he goes. Man, if you guys aren't following Frank, Clark's Hill Custom Lures, you can follow him here on TikTok. You can follow him over on his YouTube. Subscribe to his YouTube. Make sure you're getting to know this guy. He's an amazing painter. Not only that, just a great guy in general. The more I get to know him, the more I like about him. I can't say enough. And when you talk to other people, you'll get the same answer. So make sure you're giving him a follow. If you're not following me, give me a follow at Uncle Corey's Custom Lures. We do the podcast every Tuesday at 7 Eastern. I usually come on at 6:45, but right at 7 Eastern, we have a guest every single week. Yeah, I think we've got it all in there. Is there anything we might have missed that you'd like to talk about?
I'd just like to say thanks to everybody. I'd like to thank David and Rosalie. I'd like to thank Corey and CJ, Russ Allen, Whitmore Farm, just the people I do business with. Like I said, I'd be nothing without y'all too. But especially the people, that have accepted me in here at TikTok in the last couple of weeks. You're like I said, you've really changed my life more than I've ever changed y'all's. And I do appreciate y'all. And, I appreciate Corey. I appreciate you having me, and giving me a chance to kind of just use the platform. And, like I said, this thing is going to go crazy, and I'm excited where it's going.
Thanks. I appreciate you coming on the show. I was real excited to get started today, and I know we were texting back and forth a little bit. You were ready to go as well, and
yeah.
I said, well, we come on at 6:45 and you can join in anytime. And you said, I'll be on at 6:45. I'll be there.
Like I said, I just think it's important that we do this. If Corey sends something out to you, don't hesitate. Everybody's got something to say or something to share. So take advantage of it, and let's make the community the best it can be.
Perfect. I think that's a good ending to the show. And I'm sure we'll be talking to you soon. I usually see you on the lives just about every day, and I like to jump in there and give you a hard time along with everybody else. So,
that's right.
Other than that, thank you so much to everybody for coming out. lots of views and some great giveaways. Congratulations to the winners of the giveaways. I have you written down. If you have any issues, just let me know and we'll go from there. Other than that, next week is going to be Mold Man from Georgia, Georgia Lure Company. Great guy. They create a lot of stuff and a lot of stuff that you may have seen around. So make sure you tune in next week. Other than that, Frank, thank you so much. I hope you enjoy the rest of your evening, and I will be talking to you soon, sir.
Thank you so much for having me. Y'all have a great night.
All right. That's it. That's the end of the podcast. Thank you, and have a great night.